Hello and welcome to the United Stand. It's Manchester United's visit to West Brom on Valentine's Day. And in the nicest possible sense, and rest in peace to those who did die in the Valentine's Day massacre, which I think happened in the 1920s or 30s, we're hoping to get absolutely smashed. But we're hoping to smash West Brom today. I hope that's what's going to happen. Because we do need that. We need a bit of positivity, don't we, at Manchester United? And, maybe we're not going to win the league this season. But we do want to get hold of that second place, of course, and I think we've got a very good chance of doing that with a win today. So let's get on with it. Hopefully we are live. Took your time. I did take my time. I had a problem with the audio, so apologies for that. But look, apparently David De Gea is going to start today, which I think is a positive news for Manchester United, and I've not been sick. I had a problem with the audio, so that's not what's wrong at all. But welcome everybody. Hope you're all doing very, very well. But the team news that we have at the moment, and there are mixtures of team news coming through. I don't know why that's so. What's going on with that? It's normally a lot better than that. It's getting on with tits as well. Not the best preparation today for the show, but I have got a lineup for you, actually. De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, Fred McTominay, Bruno, Martial, Rashford and Cavani is the team. So no starting place for Mason Greenwood. So that's a bit of a surprise. I've literally just had that sent through to me, so I'm just going to change the screen for you now. But I don't know what I think about that. I would have liked to seen Mason start in this game, but I suppose he's got to feed Anthony Martial in, and Martial definitely does need the confidence, doesn't he? So yeah, I mean, I'm not unhappy with that team. I mean, I suppose the first thing I would say is that there'll be a few people very unhappy that I don't know whether Diallo's on the bench. I don't know about that. Apparently he could be involved, but it depends whether he's been picked on the bench or not. I suppose. I don't know. I know this sounds stupid, but finishing second is probably the worst thing that can happen for Ollie, just like what happened to Jose. He's not going to get back, says Zed Jamie. That's quite an interesting point, yeah. Let me just take Greenwood out of this team because he's not playing. It's not Mason Greenwood playing in this game. It's Anthony Martial, which means that Martial will probably play left wing and Greenwood will move to the right wing, which I know pisses a lot of people off, actually, doesn't it? They don't like to see Mason Greenwood playing there. So yeah, that's the team as far as we know. I think it's pretty much confirmed. So let me just send that as well. Just realised, okay, just sending it to my mates. Amad Diallo is set to be on the bench, says Mohammed, and Rashford isn't a right winger. And yeah, it looks like Rashford's going to be on the right-hand side as well. Greenwood's not going to play, of course. Sorry, I've mixed that up. Sorry, everybody. I know everyone likes, is pedantically knobheadish in relation to when I mix up words. But I'm not sat there with a cup of tea, nothing else to do. I'm actually live streaming in front of a lot of people. So sometimes I will mix up my words. So apologies for that, you perfectionists out there. I will mix up my words sometimes, and apologies for that, because I know everybody demands that I get absolutely everything right. We're 15 minutes late because we've had audio issues, yes, so I'm not in the most calm mood at the moment, but I will get better, and I'm sorry for mixing up somebody's name. I'm really sorry. Donny is not starting, Daps. The team is out, and the team is confirmed on the screen there. So we know what the team is, and it will not be Donny van der Beek starting. But I must just to say, the starting lineup to face Manchester United is that team on the screen on your left there. But what I would say is I'm absolutely over the mood, and this is gonna perk up my mood a little bit here. I'm absolutely over the moon that David De Gea is in goal. This fills me with joy inside. I've said all week that I stand with David De Gea, and I do stand with David De Gea. Boss. David De Gea in goal. I stand with him. My goalkeeper. I love it. I absolutely love it, because we know there are certain journalists out there. We know there are certain media outlets out there. We know there are certain fans out there desperate to get David De Gea dropped with their silly little agendas. Well, sit down. Sit down. It's David De Gea in goal. Stand up for David De Gea. I love it. I love it when these people who have got no basis for these agendas have to sit down and they're trying to scapegoat a goalkeeper who has been an absolute great for us over the last 10 years and actually has had a very good season. Yet they tried it as soon as those goals went in against Everton last week. They tried to pin it on De Gea and it's failed. So well done Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for actually having a brain and not falling for these agendas that exist in our media. Always the foreign players. It's always Pogba, Martial, Bruno or De Gea. And they've tried it on with De Gea and it didn't bloody work. And David De Gea is in goal. So shut up and sit down with your silly little agendas. It didn't work. You can write all the articles you like. You can ask Solskjaer all the questions you want in press conferences. But the reality is David De Gea is in goal today and it didn't work. And I love it. I love it because I don't mind people being dropped when they deserve to be dropped. But I just felt very strongly on this one, which you might have picked up on. I felt very strongly on this one that David De Gea was being scapegoated in a very unfair way. Of course, he didn't play fantastically well last week against Everton. But to scapegoat him in relation to last week when other people played a lot worse, I thought was really poor. So I'm very, very pleased to see David De Gea starting today. Look, even if you don't think De Gea should start, and I think there are some people in the chat who I do respect who would like to see De Gea out for Henderson, and you know, if that happens for different reasons, I haven't got a problem. But I think it would have been very, very unfair to drop him in a game like this. So I'm very, very happy that he's playing because it felt to me like it was a witch hunt, to be honest with you, for people who don't understand football really, because if you watched the football match last week, you'd know full well who was really at blame. But we don't need to talk about that because it's over. I presume Ollie is reluctant to make Bailly a regular starter because he's an injury waiting to happen. But why is he so reluctant to give Axel a run, says Sander. And thanks for the super chats. You can do that through the $sign, of course. And No Jones, says somebody there. I hate Laguaya. Said, well, you know what? I mean, the big selection that we're going to get is the team news on the bench, of course. I think that will be the interesting thing for me today. But what I do want to say is that I really did think that the one big team selection was going to be whether De Gea started in goal. I thought there was an opportunity. I thought there was a real thing that they might scapegoat him. So I'm really glad that Ollie hasn't done that. In relation to the rest of that team, look, Shaw and Wan-Bissaka, they picked themselves. Maguire and Lindelof were always going to get picked in this game. I would hope against Sociedad on Thursday that is an opportunity to play Bailly. I think what Solskjaer wants to do is, well, I hope what Solskjaer wants to do is have a team for Thursday and have a team for Sunday, and Europa League kicks off on Thursday. So what I hope is going to happen is that we will see Bailly play on Thursday and then Maguire play on Sunday. Lindelof play on Sunday against Newcastle, and that's what will happen for the next few weeks. Let's hope for another good McSauce performance as Callum Turner, and also De Gea messes up once and he's somehow not good enough. Where's the Alisson out rubbish? De Gea is and will always be successful at United, says Tom Curtis. So yeah, that's what I hope is going to happen with Eric Bailly. So I've got no surprise today that Maguire and Lindelof are playing at the centre-backs. I've got no surprise that McFred are playing. Obviously, Pogba's injured. Matic is terrible. So, you know, what other option has he got? He's never going to pick Van der Beek there, is he? Bruno's obviously going to play. And then the front three is always going to be Cavani, Rashford and Greenwood, or Cavani, Rashford and Martial, and he's opted to go for Martial today. So, and to be fair to Martial, he probably does deserve a start. He probably does deserve a start, but I think he's never going to drop Rashford, is he? And I also feel bad for Greenwood because I think Greenwood's been playing really well at the moment. Looking forward to the game. Great to see De Gea getting Ollie's backing. Best goalkeeper of the last 10 years. It's my grandfather's birthday today, so hoping we can celebrate it with a win, says Joseph Tyrrell. Happy birthday to your granddad. Love you, Mark. Despite watching football for 28 years, I've learnt a lot about tactics and analysis of the game watching your videos. Hashtag stand with De Gea, says Bass Base. Don't say that, mate, because people will go, well, what does Goldbridge know about tactics? Mark, how on earth is Matic terrible, says Luke Haynes. Terrible against Sheffield United. Terrible against West Ham. Do you reckon Ollie might push McTominay up a bit higher against West Brom? Well, Callum, I've got no problem with McTominay and Fred playing today because there is no way McTominay's not going to push forward. You know, if we play two holding midfielders and they play like they did against West Ham for 90 minutes, then I think everybody's got a reason to have a bit of a moan, haven't they? But the way we will set up today, I've got no problem with that. I haven't got any problem with that at all. I think it will be absolutely fine. There are some rumours that Amad Traore is on the bench, which would be absolutely fantastic if that is true. But I've not had anything confirmed on that yet. But hopefully we will get something confirmed about that too. Hi Mark, West Brom have taken points off Liverpool, City and Chelsea, so we need to go into this game with the correct attitude. Can't afford another Sheffield United, says Jordan Such. I'll come back to that. And I think the English media are trying to push for Henderson to be first choice so he can play at the Euros instead of Pickford. And I think you're probably right, Ashley, there. There is a valid point. Look, there's nothing wrong with Dean Henderson. There's nothing wrong with Dean Henderson. And I agree with people who probably want Dean Henderson to play in goal because, you know, he should be playing in the Euros. Nick Pope should be playing in the Euros. But this is Manchester United. This is Manchester United, and David De Gea should not be dropped. So thanks for the super chats that are coming in. Thanks for the chats as well. Pritish, who hasn't super chatted, says, "Is this the official team?" Yes, it is. And hope everyone is doing well, says Vidush. And I hope you are all doing well as well, because you know people forget to say this. It's challenging times at the moment, and I feel it. I'm sure all you do as well. So I hope everyone is feeling okay. And I think it's really important as well. Can I just say this? Thank you for the super chat from Alfie Kinsella. I've seen some people saying today that today's just a game to get the 3 points. Hopefully a few players get a few goals and boost their confidence. And I think what a bunch of arrogant prats. You know, I mean, are they setting us up to fail, these United fans, talking about, today's just a game to get 3 points and hopefully get a few goals and a bit of confidence, let's get it done. I mean, this is the Premier League. We lost to Sheffield United and they had 5 points. And we're away. Like, I'm not disrespecting West Brom. I expect us to win. I expect us to win well. But let's not go into this game thinking it's a Sunday afternoon, relax, you know. Put a bit of Lionel Richie on and chill on a Sunday afternoon, romantic, you know. What do you think you're going to do? Just put it on in the background while you have a meal with your partner. Don't worry, I'm not going to focus on the game too much today. Let's enjoy our lamb lunch and a bottle of sparkling wine. And we'll have it on in the background because it's going to be an easy 4-0 win. Forget about it. That's not going to happen. It might happen, but we shouldn't go into the game feeling that that's going to be what is going to happen. I hate that sort of arrogance. My prediction is Man United are going to win. I don't know what my score prediction was in the preview, but I feel today that Manchester United are going to win 4-0. But let's put some respect onto the name of West Bromwich Albion because we lost to Sheffield United. So we've got to be focused on this one. And who are we? Who are we as a fan base or fans over the last 8 years to walk into any game and say this is a walk in the park? You know, we've had our fingers burnt too many times about things like that. So, you know, I expect to win. I demand a win, and I think we should demand a win. But let's not start going, it's a walk in the park game. If it's a walk in the park game, then the players and the manager deserve credit for making it a walk in the park game. But let's not go into the game thinking it's going to be that. Welcome to the Members Club, Aidan. And have you seen the Southampton game? I really do rate Southampton and want them to do well. I felt so bad after 9-0. I haven't, Callum Turner. I haven't had it on. And Andrew Kelly says, I appreciate the job Ollie has done. He's been tactics, but philosophy to date has been preservation, and that won't win trophies. It's become more evident every game. I think from the game today, what I would say about the game today is that it's going to be very much about how we approach this game, and the starting 11 is the starting 11 that I have on the screen. Some people are saying that Greenwood starts. That is the starting 11. So smash a like on the video. We've had that in for the last 10 minutes. That is the Manchester United team out there. I don't know about the bench at the moment. There is rumours that Diallo is on the bench. That will make me very, very happy. He should be on the bench. You shouldn't be coming off the bench for having been on the bench and not used. So hopefully we will see him play. But what I want to see from the team today is, if that is the team, and it is the team, what I want to see today is a Manchester United side that does allow Scott McTominay to push forward past Bruno Fernandes. I don't want to see, and we'll notice this very, very quickly, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for 90 minutes against West Ham had Matic and Fred sat in front of Maguire and Lindelof. They do that to protect Maguire and Lindelof. Now, I don't want to see that today. I want to see maybe Fred does it and McTominay pushes forward. We need to see that today. And if that happens, I think there's a goal. Diallo is not on the bench, which is obviously, you know, Diallo not on the bench as predicted. It's disappointing. I'm really disappointed about that. I've got to be honest. Oh, that's a little bit of a downer. He was fit. Frederick Fieldvet said this morning that he was fit to be involved today. So apparently he's ill, says Luke. Well, no. Well, the thing is, what do you want to believe? Because let me just have a look here. No Ahmad on the bench. That's coming from Frederick Fieldvet. But he had. I'm sure somebody had said that he was fit to be in the squad today. Let me have a look. Frederick said he feels okay and he's ready to play if he's included, but he's not been included. So apparently he was fit and well to be involved today, but he's not on the bench, and that has been confirmed. No place for Diallo, who is not on the bench. I can confirm the bench for you now. Let me just get that done. So the team is as we've got on the screen, and then the bench is Dean Henderson, Alex Tellez, Eric Bailly, Twansebi and Williams, James, Matic, Van der Beek and Greenwood. So no place on the bench for Wan Mata again either, but he's got 4 defenders on the bench. Bailly and Twansebi, Williams and Tellez, Matic. Well, to be fair, I mean, he's only got 3 attackers on the bench, hasn't he? James, Van der Beek and Greenwood. I mean, I'm surprised that Mata's not on the bench because we're playing West Brom. Why do you need Tellez, Bailly, Twansebi, Williams and Matic? You know, you've got 5 defenders and 3 attackers. I mean, we'll be fine. We'll be fine, but I'm surprised that he hasn't put Mata on the bench if Diallo wasn't available, really, because it might have been a good idea to do that. But no Diallo. He is sick, a lot of people are saying, so if that's the case. Athia, I mean, look, this is a bit of a troublemaking super chat. I don't really like this sort of thing, but I'll read it out because it is a super chat. So I don't like this, first of all, but it is a super chat. I don't read all super chats, by the way, because if they're abusive, I won't read them. This one, I think, is borderline, but here we go. Athia Parish says, Thogden said he asked Robbie to be on his prediction show and Robbie demanded a fee. Do you have to pay Robbie when he's on? Okay, I didn't know that was going to go that way. I did. Me and Robbie get on really, really well, and he's been really good to this channel, and I've been very good to AFTV. I've never demanded a fee to go on AFTV, and he has never demanded a fee to go on here, and that is categorically the truth. And I've got no reason to lie. You know, I just wouldn't answer the question if I didn't want to. So that is categorically true. I've done stuff with Robbie loads. I've never had him say I want to be paid to do anything. But to be honest with you, you know what? In this genre, there are certain ex-pros who aren't even on the telly that if you ask them to come on the United stand, they'll want a 5-figure fee. So, you know, it's and you'll be surprised. You've probably never seen them on the telly before, and they'll still want a 5-figure fee. So, you know, the industry can be like that, but I've never experienced that with Robbie. Maybe Diallo's head's not in it with the false documents news coming out. He's a young lad and might need sheltering, says Luke82. And I'd love to see Martial score a hat-trick and shush the camera, says Brandon Stevens. Yeah, well, I'm a big fan of Solskjaer, of course, and Martial, sorry. So yeah, I hope he's doing that. Hi, cheers from India, says Aditya. Thanks for the super chats coming in. Please subscribe to the channel, by the way. Roses are red, violets are blue. Thanks to Mark and the United Stand crew, says Tracy Retops. Thank you for the little message there. I do like that. But please subscribe to the channel, bottom right hand corner. We are closing in on 985,000 at the moment, so really appreciate that on that road to 1 million subscribers. So there you go. I'm not getting involved in that. I've just read a super chat. I've just read a WhatsApp. I'm not getting involved in that. Also, just a reminder to those people who've downloaded United Stand Picks, it's free to play and we are doing it again for the West Brom game. £1,000 cash prize pot. If you've downloaded it, make sure you play it. If you've not downloaded it, you can still play. You've got up until 5 minutes before kickoff to play the game. And the way the game is played is that you do have 12 questions. And the questions are things like, will Manchester United beat West Brom? Yes or no. You get a point for that. Will Man United score in? And then you've got the minutes that they'll score in. Manchester United score, you can pick that. How many goals will score? Will Cavani score? How many shots on target will Marcus Rashford have? So it's questions like that. Will Bruno get an assist? There's 12 questions around the game. There's a live leaderboard throughout the game. So download it and play it. You must be over 18. It is free to enter, but you must be over 18 because we are giving away cash prizes. So you must be over 18 to play it. It is free to play, but we have got £1,000 cash prize pot again to give away for this game. The link is in the video description to play it. So you've got until 5 minutes before kickoff. And if you have downloaded it already, you may as well play it. So that's the reminder, really. You may as well play it if you've downloaded it already because it's free to play. So links in the video description for that. Mark, I always seem to time my super chats badly as you often miss them. Happy to support anyway. Just wondering how Draughty is. Can't see him on Twitter. I think he's fine, Ash. Absolutely fine. Well, I know he's fine. He's just helping me out with my audio issue, so absolutely fine. But thanks for the message. Let's hope McTominay's given instructions to arrive in the box. No point sitting back in this match. We need to pin them back with a high line, says Joshua Bowater. Mark, I love what Dave has done for us, but we sit 6th for clean sheets, yet he sits second bottom for save percentage this season out of 21 goalkeepers, says Ross Isbister. Yeah, but you know what, Ross? And I appreciate that opinion because you're not the only one to have the opinion that David De Gea maybe should be dropped for Henderson. But what I would say to that in response to that is that I felt this week that there was real scapegoating from the media and certain journalists and certain fans about David De Gea. I'll be the first to say that David De Gea is at fault. I'll be the first to say Bruno has a crap game. I'll be the first to say that Martial's not playing well. And these are some of my favourite players because you have to be honest. You cannot go hard on some players and then not go hard on other players because they're your favourites. At the end of the day, their personality, their talent doesn't mean anything when they put the red shirt of Manchester United on unless they deliver in that shirt. And if they don't deliver in that shirt, then you are basically disrespecting your support if you are going to, ignore one of your favourite players' bad performances over what really matters, which is a Manchester United shirt. So look, anybody plays bad and they should get the criticism. But in relation to David De Gea, he was being scapegoated after that Everton game and he didn't cost us the game. He maybe could have done better on 2, but on the third goal, it's a one-on-one. The striker should score no matter how brave he is. The reality is, we know who cost us the game against West Brom. It was very, very obvious, and yet the media and everybody decided to go after our goalkeeper. As for save percentages, when it comes to save percentages, I mean, it's a rubbish stat. It's like passing percentage. Oh, Fred had a 95% pass succession rate and Bruno had a 64. But what's Bruno trying to do? Bruno's probably trying to get Rashford in behind the strikers with a 45-yard pass, whilst Fred is passing it 5 yards 50 times a game. So side to side. So pass percentage and goalkeeping saving percentage is irrelevant because if you play for a team like Southampton or Wolves or West Brom, you're going to have a lot more, well, maybe not Wolves actually, because they do defend quite deep, but certain goalkeepers will have more saves. I imagine Ramsdale's got quite a good save percentage because he probably makes a lot of saves. And also, it's the quality of the shots. I would imagine Ederson and Alisson probably make a lot of saves because people probably shoot from distance. But Man United give up good chances. Like, most of the goals we've conceded this season have been, you'd expect the person to score. Like, they're in the box. They're heading it in from 5 yards out. They're getting a one-on-one shot. So I don't think that stat means anything. Does the United result depend on your mood for later with the misses, says Bailey Moore. Bit personal there, Bailey. Mark, thanks for the content. Would you rather see Ronaldo come back this summer or Roy Keane come in as a coach? A man can dream, says Kev MC. I'd love to see Ronaldo back. Hi, Mark. I predicted a United win. By the way, that comment on AFTV and fees is false. I personally interviewed Robbie and no fees were spoken about, says Coaster. Yeah, I mean, I've seen the clip about it, and I don't like that sort of thing. I don't like that sort of thing. I think that this industry is a new industry, and we're not mainstream media, but I think respect needs to be there. And I think that calling people out is not really, I've done it in the past. Of course, I've lost my temper, but those sort of things are not the sort of things that you want. I mean, we've had it with the United Stand where people say that we're actors and we're owned by a media company, but I mean, it's just an absolute nonsense. But people start believing it, and if it's not accurate, it shouldn't be put out there. Gabriel Noel says, Mark, I just woke up, no idea the game was this early. Proud of Ollie for not dropping Dave because English media wants Hendo to get into the Euros squad, says Gabriel Noel. Cheers, pal. Percentage are a load of bollocks. Trent Alexander-Arnold has the highest tackle percentage but never puts a tackle in and gets dribbled past a lot. Well, there you go. He's having a terrible season, W. Roses are red. Going to be hard to coach Cat City. Solskjaer's doing his best, but United's defence is quite shitty, says Luke Jones. De Gea shouldn't be dropped. It's the partnership. A lot of the best goalkeepers have great partnerships in front of them, says Amory. And so frustrating with the centre-back pairing again. Keep up the good work, Mark. Love this channel, says Robert Johnson. Yes, thanks for all the super chats that are coming in. And yeah, who would have thought that Roy Keane would be a social media account, says Maliki. He's given in. He's given in. The dinosaur has given in. Jurassic Park, he's given in. Today is Cavani's birthday. I hope he scores. And 4 defenders and Matic on the bench confuses me. No Diallo, says Tomo. And what metrics would you propose if the existing percentages are shite? Like a combination of team aggressiveness with the percentages, maybe, says Jeffrey Josen. To be honest with you, mate, I don't mind stats, but I'm a bit old school on this. I don't need stats to tell me somebody's had a bad game, and I don't need stats to tell somebody's had a good game. I think there are certain people who've done very well over the last 10 years about telling you about stats, and to be honest with you, I doubt many of them have ever kicked a ball in their life, and if they have, they're probably not very good at it. I think most people's football knowledge I trust because they played the game, and I don't mean at the top level. I mean, obviously at the top level your coaching's going to be better, but you know, anybody who's played a five-a-side game consistently, or pub football, or any level of football, you will know you get to learn a game, you get to read a game. Football's quite easy to read, and there'll be people in the live comments saying, oh, Goldbridge, whatever, which you're always going to get. But we're about to play a team tonight that have a manager who is, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the most basic managers there's ever been. And he's had success, but he's a basic manager. And it's, you know, Allardyce's approach today will be aggressive. He'll be in the dressing room now, getting them up. You know, he's an old school manager like that. Get at them, get up at them. You know, it's 11 against 11. Get at them. Win the second balls. I want direct balls. I want physicality. Boot the ball away. Boot the ball high. You know, this is what I want to see. Percentage football, set piece football. And, you know, I've had managers who've managed me like that at under 14s, and I've had managers who managed me like that on pub football on a Sunday morning when everyone's hungover. You know, football, you know, and then you've got a manager like Pep Guardiola who probably spends bloody ages doing stuff. So, you know, there are different levels of management, but the point remains that we over-depend on stats when a lot of them are not that relevant to watching an actual game of football. Things I do like about stats, and I will give a shout out for this, what I do like about stats are things like key passes or heat maps or distance covered. Those sort of things I do quite like. But even things like chance conversion rate. You know, Martial might have a really low chance conversion rate and Harry Kane might have a really high one. And this is 2 bad examples as players, but I'll just chuck 2 players out. But what if Anthony Martial's chances are sort of, you know, they're in the penalty box, but they're not as easier as the chance that Harry Kane's had. You know, unless you've got 10 chances in exactly the same spot with exactly the same sort of pass, because not every pass is the same. It might bobble up, it might have a bit of spin on it. Technique is very different. So I think stats can you know, some people live off stats, and I think, you know, I still don't think it's any great shakes compared to actually watching a game of football. I mean, we've had people be given man of the match based on stats, and it's a nonsense. They're actually on Sky Sports at the moment. They are doing a section on David De Gea, and that's disgusting. That is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. They're doing a section on David De Gea for the 2 goals against Everton. And yet, the captain of our side, who is English, there won't be any discussion about it. And this is what winds me up. It's the scapegoating. They're actually doing a section on David De Gea. And this is dangerous. It's dangerous from the media to do this because people are sheep. Some people are sheep. They'll be watching Sky Sports and they will be going, yeah, De Gea is the problem. De Gea is the problem. And it's a seed. It's a planted seed to make you... And you know what? It's so dangerous Politicians do this all the time. If you make a story about something, people start to focus on that thing. And we're going into this game and it's David De Gea again. And there'll be those journalists after the game who'll just be waiting for one thing. Even if he keeps a clean sheet, yeah, he didn't look concentrated, you know, and it's not right. I don't like this. It's all about David De Gea again. It's all about mistakes. I mean, they're showing mistakes from David De Gea from 2011. 2011, 10 years ago. What's the relevance? Focus. We will never move forward as a football club if we focus on the wrong issue. We're now looking at our bloody goalkeeper. I mean, bloody hell. Hi, Mark. Can you call my mate Lennon a prat up the red, says Sam. And hi, Mark. Sky Sport saying De Gea makes too many mistakes, says Callum Griffiths. Exactly. I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to put a tweet out. Disgusting. Sky Sports. Doing a 5-minute segment on De Gea. And I've just said on Twitter there, I've said Sky Sports doing a 5-minute section on De Gea. It's just an agenda. If they really want to have a grown-up conversation, about what the problem is at Manchester United, maybe speak to Manchester United fans who will tell you the problem at Manchester United is centre-back. Is David De Gea, is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer looking for a new goalkeeper in the summer? No. Because he's got Dean Henderson if he wants to. Who's in goal today? David De Gea. That tells you everything. David De Gea is not the problem. The problem is centre-back. He's looking for a bloody centre-back. But let's talk about the goalkeeper. Soonest, Neville and Hasselbank all saying De Gea is a problem that needs addressing. This is actually putting me off Henderson, to be honest, says Joshua Bowater. To be honest, mate, it's just ridiculous at this point. There is an agenda in the media against David De Gea, and it's always the foreign players, isn't it? Always the foreign players. There's always an English bias. And every one of those people you've just mentioned there, and we know Souness with Pogba, they always go for the English one. They always go for the foreign one, Subley, and they always back the English person. We've had it with Martial, we've had it with Pogba, we've had it with De Gea, and you know, Bruno will probably get it one day. City has only been experimenting with Google to find creative players via the same AI tech that defeated humans in chess. We should be doing that, says Jeffrey Josen. And welcome to the United Stand Members Club, Alfie Kinsella. Is this not the kind of game where Ollie can rest Bruno and or Rashford and give Donny and James a run out? JJ, I think that would be very dangerous to do that. Very dangerous indeed. Really, really wrong with that. If we brought Van der Beek and Dan James in and rest Rashford and Bruno and then we don't win, it's arrogance. We can't be arrogant in this game. What is wrong with Bay this time other than Ollie's obsession with a pairing that does not work in certain games? This is predictably a game of ball over the top by West Brom that needs Bay, says Anthony Johnson. Well, what I want to see from Manchester United in this game is I want to see us playing a higher line, and I want to see Scott McTominay moving up towards Bruno Fernandes. I think that's very important today. Really important because if we don't do that and we invite pressure against a team like West Brom, I think we win today. I do think we win today. That's not jinxing it. I do think we win today, and I think what's your score predictions? Actually, we'll get into that. I do think we win today. However, I don't think we should be arrogant about it, and I think also today is not just about winning. It's about how we approach the win today. Do we play to win 1-0 or do we play on the front foot with a high line? I've not looked at the West Brom side. I will get it up for you, but I mean it's an irrelevance. There's an irrelevance to how West Brom are going to play this game because they're not as good as us. And I love how Mark isn't biased and narrow-minded. Not to blame our foreign players. Good on you, Mark. Look, I get criticism. Every time Scott McTominay has a game, people pull up a clip from 3 years ago. I get that. I understand that. But you know what? If anybody knows anything about me, I do change my mind. And not because I'm a flip-flop. I change my mind because life is about changing your mind. Life is about, I never used to like avocado. I love it. I didn't used to like mackerel. I love it. I used to love white chocolate. I hate it. And people will laugh about that. But life changes you, he says as he sits back on a chair. I didn't have this chair before. Rocking chair with Goldbridge. Life changes you. You know, we're not robots. Things change. And one of the things that really I see in football, in real life as well, is stubbornness destroys people. It destroys what they stand for. It destroys their argument. Because they might have really good opinions, but then one thing will expect. Look, take example, Ricky. I love listening to Ricky. I think he has some really good opinions. But he's stubborn about Bruno Fernandes. And he's stubborn about Marcus Rashford. And he won't change his mind. And, you know, there's loads of people like that. And, you know, I didn't think Scott McTominay was a Manchester United player, but I don't have to live off that clip from 3 years ago because it's 3 years ago. And if I say he's a Manchester United player now, doesn't mean, oh, well, you said 3 years ago. You change your opinion. That's what happens. And you change it based on evidence. And for me, with McTominay, if he's allowed to play further forward, he might have a really interesting future at Manchester United. If we keep him as a holding midfielder, I just don't ever think he's going to be that because you are stifling a player. You know, it'd be like putting Anthony Martial at left back. He could do a job there, but he's an attacker. You know, you've got to give him that. And I think, you know what, I would love to, I don't want to go on Sky Sports to do it, but I would love to sit on a panel with some of those Sky Sport pundits and not get aggressive, not call them out, just say, I've been listening to you for years, and time again, you always seem to have agendas against our foreign players, whether it's Anthony Martial, whether it's Paul Pogba, whether it's David De Gea. And, you know, it gets to a point where you have to get called out continually because why are we having little 5-minute sections on Sky Sports about David De Gea? Because you're losing your shit, because Henderson's not get picked. Henderson never should have been picked today. David De Gea's position should not be in jeopardy. The media are driving and scapegoating an agenda against David De Gea. And that only makes my resolve and your resolve stronger to back this goalkeeper. Because I tell you what, over the last 10 years, he's our player of the last decade. He's been here the longest. He made us relevant for 5 years. He did drop off for a couple of years, but he's actually having a good season. And to pin Everton on David De Gea is nothing more than disgrace. And I'm not going to call out the player or players who cost us the result against Everton. But they reside in our back four and in our midfield. They didn't pick people up. You know what makes me laugh is that we talk about the first goal and we talk about the third goal. And the third goal's the worst goal, and we know who was at fault for that. But the second goal doesn't get spoken about. And you know why the second goal doesn't get spoken about? Because there's no goalkeeper in the world that was going to save that from James Rodriguez. But actually, it was a terrible goal because Fred didn't mark him. But it doesn't get mentioned because, oh no, we're not talking about Fred at the moment. Keep him for later because he's not English, but leave Fred alone for the moment. And we're not, I think, look, some people will agree with this, with the dropping De Gea, and I respect those because they're probably doing it based on, you know, a footballing opinion. But I think what's happening is there is a scapegoating here. And for me, I've had a week of that Everton result and I've not heard really anything from the media or any question put to Solskjaer about the real cause. And, you know, all I want is justice in life. I just want fairness in life. And I don't think it's fair how David De Gea has been constantly got at this week, and then a certain English centre-back has been left alone, even though he was blatantly at fault for the third goal. So it's not, but I don't want to go in on that English centre-back because I think he can be a good player for us, and I'm very aware that once that mistake has happened, then a week later we should be moving on from that. We're playing a match tonight, but instead we're going into a match. This afternoon we're playing a match now. And there's negativity around our goalkeeper, and there's eyes on our goalkeeper now, and it's unfair, and it's unfair pressure. And, you know, I'm not putting pressure onto our centre-backs. I'm not, you know, because I know that could be counterproductive. Hi, mate. Can you call my mate Lennon a Pratt? He's watching right now. Also, when COVID is done, can we play netball? Sam, I'd love a game of netball. There's lots of things I want to do when COVID's open. I want to do a five-a-side tournament and everything, so we can sort that out. I'll have a game of netball with you. Should McTominay and Van der Beek be in the pivot today? Says Gwydlin. Well, it was never going to happen, was it? You know, I think Ollie will feel justified in his treatment of Van der Beek, won't he? Mark, David is the best goalkeeper we've ever had. Both Van der Sar and Schmeichel had some of the best centre-backs of the Premier League history, says Omka. And Also, I've done that one. And hey, Mark, I think Rashford notices the hate from United fans after bad performances, which destroys his confidence. He needs backing from the fans, sending for support from Sydney, Australia, says Matthew. Well, you know what? I'm a big fan of Rashford. I've always stuck by Rashford. When people called him Trashford, I said it was unfair. I look at Rashford and I see a player that's still got a lot of work to do. He's not the finished article. He's not a world-class player. And that's, that's constructive criticism. But he's a fantastic talent, and he just needs to find that consistency. I think some of the criticism he gets is ridiculous. He's definitely got talent. Hi Mark, can I get a happy Valentine's Day shout out to my wife Rebecca? Thank you. # Team De Gea. There you go. Silverwave. Valentine's Day shout out to your wife Rebecca. Hope you're having a good day, or I hope you're gonna have a good evening. Whatever you're going to do. I mean, that's the great thing if you are having to do things, not having to do things, if you are doing things with your partners today, then Manchester United will be done by about 5 o'clock. Romantic evening, and you can get to watch the football and then but then pretend I've set the evening aside for you. She's in the next room. She's just heard me now. I'm an idiot. I've just said that, and she's in the next room, and it's gone quiet. I've just heard the bin. I think that's my lamb. Anyway, I'm joking. De Gea has never had a world-class centre-back, says Caleb. And, he did play in front of Rio and Vidic in 2012-13 season, didn't he? So, yeah. Diallo, I don't know. We've not heard from Ollie yet. We will get quotes from him. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. We're going to try and get up to 985,000 tonight, this afternoon. I keep saying tonight because I'm so used to United playing at night, and it's not night. We're 500 subscribers away, so we can do it. Subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We're really going to push that today. Let's see if we can get to 985, and then we're 15 out from a million. 15,000 out from a million. Zane's in the house. Are you ready for the masterclass against Leeds? I'm not even going to watch it, Zane. I'm having the evening off in relation to football. I'll get United out of the way and hopefully enjoy a big result and then move on. Another shout out as well for United Stand Picks. £1,000 cash prize pot. Link is in the video description. If you have already downloaded it, don't forget to do your picks. You've got about half an hour to do it. Once kickoff is kicked off, you can't do it. If you've never played before, then I would, you can download it. You've got to be over 18 because we're giving away cash prizes, but it's free to enter. So download it, links in the video description. 12 questions, all about this game. Will Bruno get an assist? Will Cavani score? Will Man United win? You get points for every question you get right. There's a live leaderboard in-game that you can keep an eye out on. Get involved with that. Red Devils Down Under, comments like that, you will share KG's lounge. Yeah, I know. And is this not the kind of game where Ollie can rest Bruno and Rashford and give Donny and James a run out even at least until the 60th, 70th minute? I think we've read that one. Omko, welcome to the Members Club as well. You can do that by clicking the join button as well. A lot of people going for 4-0 like me. I am. And who remembers when we were linked with Delit, says William. Yes, another Riola story it was. There is another game going on at the moment, which I've not really paid much attention to. It's Southampton against Wolves, isn't it? I just think Wolves are such a boring side, but they are winning 2-1 against Southampton. Neves and Neto with the goals. They were 1-0 down at half-time. So looking like a good 3 points there. And Southampton are struggling a little bit at the moment after having been on a great run. Yeah, definitely. What flavour pot noodles should I have? Says Rifleman. I haven't had one in a long time, a pot noodle. I think I used to like the beef and spicy tomato, but I don't know whether they do it anymore. Advat Roy, welcome to the United Stand Members Club. Thank you for joining. I have one problem with De Gea. He stays on his line too much and doesn't command the penalty area. When we play slow partnerships, we come in trouble, says Rasmus. And this De Gea thing just evidences companies trying to put up their engagement, the social media effect. Fact we're talking about it is evidence in itself, says Scott. I think that Gabriel Noel and a few other people have mentioned it on the show today, which I hadn't really thought about that much, and that is that there's probably an English bias. Well, there is an English bias, of course. I mean, look, I'm not listening to Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank talk about David De Gea. With all due respect, how many games of Manchester United does Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank watch this season? You know, this you've got to think about this. You have to think about what you are being offered on media. The great thing about social media, and there are positives to social media as well as negatives. The great thing about social media is that people are questioning their content more and more. And, you know, maybe 15 years ago, you're watching Sky and you've got, Hasselbank, Souness and Neville, and you're just lapping up everything they say like a cat with a bowl of milk. But what's happened over the last 10 years is that fans have had more of a voice. And you know what? Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, Jermaine Genius. Jermaine Genius gave... Who did Jermaine Genius give man of the match to? Harry Maguire against West Ham. He's watching the bloody game. What's he talking about? Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank saying De Gea is not good enough. If he has said that. But it's just an example anyway. Nonsense. How many games does he watch of Manchester United compared to you? And this is what I mean. It's a nonsense. It's scripted bullshit. Gabriel couldn't beat pub team Sheffield. How will you beat this pub team? Rely on Bruno again, says Amiasi. Maybe people just disagree with your opinion. Bruno, Son, Gundogan, De Bruyne, Salah, Mane, etc. all raved by the media. I thought De Gea was a disgrace last week, says Robert McCormack. Robert, you're always... I think you're a troll, Robert. There you go. I don't think you're real. I think the stuff you come out with is just super chats to try and be controversial. And a few other people have said that. There you go. It's just my opinion. That'll wind him up. If De Gea was called John and from Salford, he would be regarded as a United legend and the best goalkeeper in the world. I mean, we've spent a lot of time talking about De Gea, but in all seriousness, and Robert might not be a troll, even though there are rumours that he is. But there are people out there that want De Gea not to be in the team, and I respect them. There are people in the live comments that don't think De Gea is good enough, and I respect them, and that is their opinion. What I'm talking about is that over the last week, and I will not move on this at all, over the last week, I've seen countless media outlets going after De Gea. Now, that's not an opinion. That is a scapegoating, because De Gea, no matter how bad he played last week, was not the reason we drew that game. The reason we drew that game was because of a certain centre-back in a crap centre-back partnership. So why is he being scapegoated and they aren't? Especially when, I'd understand it a little bit more if De Gea had cost us loads of goals this season and loads of points this season. But actually it's the other way round. It's the centre-back partnership again. De Gea's actually had a good season. It's the centre-back partnership that's cost us loads of points this season, and it was the centre-back partnership that lost us the points last week against Everton. But we've spent the week with the media going after De Gea. So that's my point. It's not even against people who think, well, I'd rather have Henderson in goal. It's the way we are being fed this information. It's dangerous. It's a dangerous way to feed information from the media. It's an agenda, in my opinion. But you've all got an opinion. Thank you for the contribution there, LOL. And Simran, thanks for the members club. And the best thing about it is whether you agree with me or you don't agree with me. The fact is that we're talking about it and calling out that behaviour, and you might agree with that behaviour or you may not, but at least we're having the conversation about it, because they're not having the conversation. They're all telling you De Gea's not good enough. They're not talking about our centre-back partnership. They're just feeding you one story. They're not discussing, they're not even doing it in a, which I would call out again as well, they're not even doing it in a balanced way. They're just generally, all three of them, saying get rid of De Gea, he's the problem, which is not right anyway, but where's the balance? I'm sick of seeing Phineas and Ferb at the back, says Tom Hayward. Glazers are happy to buy Tom Brady, but will only offer Sancho a tenner and a packet of crisps, says Tom Hayward. De Gea is not good enough, he's a scapegoat. If you want a more physical keeper, be my guest, but De Gea is one of the best shot stoppers in the world, says Greg Basham. And at least De Gea's feet are not cold. If you know, you know, says Rishab. And Mark, De Gea has not been world class for a long time. He doesn't compare to David Simon or Leno. You can't even spell your bloody goalkeepers. You can't even spell Zayn. I don't even need Gabriel Noel to come and sit you down. He spelt David Seaman, David S-I-M-A-N. You can't even spell the name of your bloody best goalkeeper you've ever had. Zayn. I think it's time to go. It's time to go, Zayn. When's it going to end? I mean, look, people spell Schmeichel's name wrong because it's not actually an easy name to spell. But spelling David Seaman, David Simon, no. Zayn, it's time to go. Callum Griffiths, welcome to the United Stand Members Club. Do you think De Gea's slander is to get the spotlight off Liverpool golden boy Alisson, says Liam? No, I just think it's we get very used to this in a Manchester United sense, because we it happens to Pogba, it happens to Martial. They tried to do it with Bruno last month as well. It always seems to be the same. Maybe it was a typo. If it was a typo, Ashcan, which it could have been a typo, he was missing 2 letters. He was. De Gea is top 5 goalkeeper in the Prem and has been at the top of the game for over half a decade. He's our number 1, no question, says Leon. And welcome to the Members Club, Callum Griffiths. Robert McCormack says, sorry for different opinion on a channel that's all about opinion. We've just discussed that, Robert. Thank you. And I prefer Greenwood on the right and Rashford or Martial on the left, but let's hope it works out well today. And just going back, Robert, I think I explained it quite well. I've got no problem if you don't want David De Gea in goal, but what I'm actually discussing about is that what we've had this week in the media is targeting somebody who is actually not the problem. The problem last Saturday night was the centre-backs, and the problem all season has been the centre-backs. And we've spent all week talking about expensive centre-backs. So, enough of De Gea. I'm disappointed that Greenwood isn't starting. Playing Martial is okay, but forces Rashford to wrong wing. I would like to have seen Mason Greenwood starting today. I think I would have liked to have seen that. But apparently, well, he's not. He's not starting today, which is frustrating. There you go. Let's see if we can get Flex on. Interested to see what he thinks about the team. He might be pro Henderson. You know, he might be one of those. Might be pro him. But my score prediction is going to be 4-0 to Manchester United. Yeah, I think we got this today. I think we'll be all right. But look, I'm not disrespecting them in any way, shape or form. I think that they could get a result. Flex, can you hear me? I think we might have a problem here.
I can hear you.
Oh yeah, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
All right, okay. I couldn't hear you for a moment. What's your thoughts on the team first of all?
Yeah, no, I'm not really surprised considering that Paul Pogba was injured, and the Van der Beek situation is the Van der Beek situation. As long as Scott McTominay has the license to actually go forward, and then you can leave Fred to do what he needs to do against what I predict is going to be a really low block. I don't see it being a massive issue, to be honest. I know that the initial thing is always with McTominay and Fred is why are we playing them against a low block? There's no creativity. What's going to happen? But like we've been saying, if McTominay is allowed the license to go and do what he can do best, which is travel with the ball or arrive late, basically play a little bit further up and run with it. You know, Solskjaer's been talking about it. We need to unleash Scott. So this is the sort of game. And you know, people got to take this in the context, but this is the game where you unleash Scott. This is where you have him playing higher up or allowing him to go play higher up. So yeah, I'm don't really mind that at all. And the Martial thing, look, he's not playing awful, but he's in bad scoring form. Yeah, he's not hitting the back of the net enough. And between him and Greenwood, because we know that Rashford is going to be the mainstay, his numbers. I know people are not, you know, interested in numbers all the time, but his impact on this team, like I've said so many times, in this moment is just big. It really is. So between Martial and Mason, they're gonna have to kind of interchange and stuff. The only kind of grievance I do have with it is I just think Marcus Rashford is so much better from the left. I'm not saying he cannot play on the right, but I just prefer him on the left. And anytime he's moved out to the right hand side, I don't know, he just looks a little less certain. But you know, hopefully he can have a good game today as well. So no, I'm not really massively over concerned about the game.
I mean, just looking at the West Brom side, I'm not going to go through it because I'd be a liar to say I know much about the players. But yeah. What I do know about those players is there's no. They're all high energy players, aren't they? They looks like they're playing a 4-5-1. They're going to be organised and they're going to run around a lot. I mean, have you got any concerns about this game? I did say that I was a little bit. I don't think we can be arrogant because we lost to Sheffield United. So yeah. I've heard some people saying, "Oh, it's about certain people getting a couple of goals and building their confidence." And I thought, "Oh, this is dangerous attitude."
No, 100%. That I said in the lead up to this game. You look at the games we've had against the teams in the bottom three or in and around there. Struggled against Brighton earlier on. Beat Fulham just. You know, you look at the end of that game and the chances that Fulham had. Tight against Sheffield United the first time because we made silly mistakes and ended up being 3-2. Lost against Sheffield United. And you look at when we played West Brom the first time round, when they were the team just losing every week as well at that time. So I don't like that whole, you know, all you need to do is play all the attacking players, then you make subs in the 60th minute, and then it's really easy. It's not FIFA. Like, no. You know, there's a reason why we don't play like that. I understand that. You can look at Ollie, the coaching staff, and say our style of play, all of that stuff. But another thing is there are no easy games. I think I've learnt my lesson of underestimating teams that are fighting for their lives. Ideally, yes, when your team is perfect and you're like a City and stuff like that, you want to go roll these teams over. But let's have this right. West Brom got a draw at City, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah,
Yeah. West Brom got a draw at City. West Brom drew at Liverpool, I want to say. Or did they get a 0-0 at their place? Whatever. I'm
they
pretty sure
definitely got a draw
0-0.
at Anfield. I remember that. Yeah,
They got a draw at Anfield. So if we're saying that's the type of and we had to have a penalty against them at Old Trafford earlier in the season. I know it was in a different moment then, but still, if that doesn't show you that in the big games when there's not much pressure on them, they can put in a decent performance and be tough to beat, then you deserve arrogance to slap you in the face. In my opinion, we're not there yet, and if the best team like City / obviously Liverpool aren't the best anymore, but I'm just saying if other good teams can struggle against them, it's stupid of us and arrogant of us to think we can just turn up there, play all the attacking players, and then just have a nice comfortable evening. It doesn't work like that. So yeah, I am concerned that we might slip into that. Against the low block, we've seen us struggle against teams before.
Nitin says, and a few people have said this, could have tried Donny and Bruno and Matic today. And also JJ Giles also said, is this not the sort of game to play Van der Beek and rest Bruno and Rashford and play people there? Mark Simon's real spelling isn't allowed in the super chat when I tried to send it. Oh, Zane, I tell you what, I take it back then. He couldn't put Seaman in the live. He spelt David Seaman wrong, Flex. He put David Simon, and I was taking the piss saying you can't even spell it. But apparently he might be right on that. Although Seaman is not. I don't think Well, no, you've still spelt it wrong because that's not how you spell it. Anyway, it's Seaman. The one you're talking about hasn't got an A in it. So you might have outed yourself there. I'm going to try it. Mark, can you wish my wife, Kane, a happy Valentine's Day? She allows me to listen to you every day. Yeah, we'll give her a big shout out, Kane. And you're correct on there. Hopefully we get a squad of foreign players in the future and then play abroad for our fans like myself, based abroad, says AS33. I'm going to try that out. But do you think today was a game to, not go totally strong? Would you have changed things up?
Nah, I don't think that. I don't think you look at it saying you're playing a team near the bottom of the league, rest this player, rest that player, prioritise Europa League on Thursday. For me, our league, we're in a good league position still. I know City are beginning to do what City do, and the next sort of slip up of any sort, you're kind of thinking, okay, that's that. If you're not thinking it already, I understand that, but no, we're still in a good position in the league. I think we should be playing our strongest team where we can in the league. Don't get me wrong, when it gets deeper into the Europa League, semi-final/final, hopefully, then yeah, you can look at it. But nah, I want to see us going strong. I don't want to be, it's not the Carabao Cup third round.
Do you think this game's a little bit flat? I mean, James Mahani says, Mark, to be honest, I don't care whether we win 1-0 or 4-0 just once we win. And brace yourself, everyone's going to try Seaman. So it's Seman. That's how you spell David Seaman, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to put it into Google. Yeah. And it does work. Do you feel that today's game, for some reason, is a bit flat? Maybe because Man City look like they're going to win the league.
Yeah,
I mean, to me, I still think it's a massive achievement to finish second, and I don't think that's a foregone conclusion. I think it's very important to win today. I don't think their expectations should be falling flat.
No, I exactly that. For me, what it is because we've had a taste of being at the top of the league for a couple of weeks, and then being in and around it. It was, and rightly so, we should start to kind of adjust as we go along. But what happens with that is you forget your original goal.
Yeah.
And our original goal, like I've said many times, is just to close the gap and get closer to the top two. I mean, we've definitely done that with Liverpool after their capitulation.
We can go 8 points ahead of them, can't we, if we win today?
8 points ahead of them. Do you know what I mean? And Leicester, to be fair to them, I know they capitulated towards the, when we come back out of lockdown last time. But they don't really look like they're slowing down. So
no.
It's about keeping pace and finishing as high as we can. If we finish second to City, 5 points behind them, look, that's kind of a title challenge. That means you're there or thereabouts, and you need to strengthen in the areas that we all keep saying every single week and go again. So I don't see it as this is flat and this is boring because the league's gone. I want to finish as high as we can, and on top of that, you just never know. With football, City might get a draw 1 week, or you just never know. They don't look like they're going to, but we just need to keep winning our games. We just need to keep winning our games and see where it brings us out.
I feel like we've almost skipped a beat because if you look at United over the last 8 years, we've never been a consistent top four club, and then suddenly we finished third last year. Now we're second, And there is this disappointment, and I felt it a little bit myself. There is this disappointment that, we're not going to win the league, second place. And it almost feels like we've missed the whole going from not being a top 4 club to being now second or third, but that's not good enough. And it's right, second or third's not good enough for United, but actually over the last 8 years, we would have took that every day of the week. And I even had people on last night's show saying, well, if we finish third or second and we don't win a title, I'm not sure I'd give him a new contract. And I was like, come on, he's got to have a new contract if he finishes. I'd like to win a trophy, but you've got to give it him based on the last 8 years. That's really big achievement. So I like it in one way that we are, well, it's not, I want more, but actually we can't run before we can jog. We've got to accept that second or third this year would be very good, and then for me it all comes down to the board. But no, I agree. I don't think we should be taking this game for granted at all. I love Martial, but I don't think he's the right man to take the club to the next level. What are your thoughts, says Raj? I'll ask Flex about that now. And utterly cannot believe we're blaming a goalkeeper. Team game, team mentality. A goalkeeper should never noticed, never heard this at United, says Brian. Well, I will ask you about De Gea, but we have spoken about that a little bit before you came on the show as well. And Hamza says, do you think City can win the quadruple? I hope not. But let's talk about Martial. He's in the team today. Rashford's moved to the right. Martial's gone to the left. Greenwood's played really well recently. I like Martial. I hope he plays well. But I did say myself this week, what's the future for Martial if he's not a first teamer? Because he's always been a first teamer. Now he's starting today and Greenwood's gone down to the bench. What's your feeling about Martial starting today and his future at United?
Yeah, I don't mind him starting today. I don't mind a rotation. Again, Martial hasn't been scoring. Like, I don't think he's been turning out 0 out of 10s, like not contributing. I know the loss against Sheffield United, I think he played particularly bad that day, along with many others. But I think the biggest thing for him is the scoring thing. I think Rashford's level of performance, in terms of how consistent he's making the right decisions, etc., might be worse than Martial's. But the overall impact he's having on the game by the end of it has been more, hence the numbers he's got. So I just think that Martial eventually, I do think there'll be a shelf life in terms of when we want to take that next step up. Are we going to trust in Tony to get 25 and on a consistent basis? And I think that's the issue. I think whether you're Martial FC, you love him, you hate that the media agendas against him and stuff like that, I'll always stick up for him, but I won't be clouded by what I want my striker to do, which is ultimately be the focal point of my attack and almost guarantee me with the right service the 25 goal mark, so plus consistently. So I think it's fair to say that because he's been around so long and we love him, we have that affection with him, we don't want to see him kind of just discarded. But if we all say the club must come first, and if we go in a different direction where we get the better creativity, a better balance in midfield, a better right winger that's laying on chances, and then you get the opportunity to sign a Haaland or a Kane, there's no way we say, yeah, but Tony's our guy. No, you're going to go and get Kane or Haaland or someone of that ilk. So it depends on the direction the team goes and who we're looking to get in the summer. But I do like Tony. I don't want him sold. And I do think that right now it's just a matter of him not hitting the back of the net consistently enough.
Emily C, thank you for the super chat there. Score prediction today, says Procu, new subscriber out here from New Jersey, USA, but I've loved United for as long as I can remember. You guys are pure class. Thanks, mate. And please do subscribe, bottom right hand corner. City have Everton next, and that's their game in hand. Fingers crossed they lose or drop points, says Sharp. We just got to focus on ourselves today. We really have. Flex, I'm just going to quickly pop to the toilet actually, but score prediction and also your opinion on another section. I've been talking about this all week. Ollie was asked straight after the game last week about De Gea. Certain outlets have been talking about De Gea all week. Sky Sports did a 5-minute section talking about De Gea. Gary Neville, Souness and Hasselbank, apparently all three of them said De Gea's a problem. Where do you stand on this after Everton last week and De Gea in goal for Manchester United? Because it seems to be being driven by the media, and there's no talk about our centre-back partnership. It's all about De Gea. What's your thoughts on that? I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, I think the De Gea thing's super easy, man. If you think De Gea is the biggest of our problems, then I just massively disagree. He's just not. I think if you replace our two centre-backs with a better partnership, I think it instantly relieves some of the pressure that's on him. I said in the summer, when De Gea was going through his bad spell, consistent bad spell, a lot of people were like, sell him. For me, I just wanted the competition to be there. Wanted him to get the kick up the arse that he needed. And I think Dean Henderson has come in and given him that. I think he's given him the wake-up call to say, listen, there's a young, hungry kid who Ollie really likes, who the club really likes. He's on a massive contract. They believe in him. They want him to be England's number one and Man United's number one. And if you're not up to it, David, and you can't recapture something that resembles the old David, I get maybe not the prime David, but if you can get something that resembles it, if you can't do that, then we're happy to bring in Dean Henderson. And I think he's been steady this season. I think rival fans will tell you differently and say, oh, De Gea's been shit now, and he's crap now. He's not this, he's not that. We watch him week in, week out, and he hasn't been the worst. He hasn't. I don't think so. For me, I think there is an agenda against him. I think that, you look at what Alisson's been doing recently. No one says anything. You know what I mean? Why are they not doing the thread on him? So for me, David De Gea is he's fine. I think he's fine. And also we have to think as well, the reason why he didn't get his move, obviously money-wise as well, there was no one going to come in for him who was going to do that. So, for me, he's not the biggest of our worries. I'd much rather if you're going to say to me, do we need to replace him and just throw him out and put Dean Henderson in? I'd say no. I said keep Dean Henderson doing what he's doing. He's not going to go anywhere. Dean Henderson needs to stay hungry and keep trying to catch De Gea. And he's there or thereabouts. It's going to happen within the next year or two. It will happen, in my opinion. So fix the centre-back pairings. All this stuff talking about David De Gea like he's the biggest of our issues. Go out and get the centre-back that we need. Or I've been saying to KG, I've just got a feeling that I just want to rip up the centre-back partnership and start again. I don't know what you guys think. I prefer to just get rid of Maguire and Lindelof, personally, and just go in a different direction, which is obviously not going to happen. But I'm saying fix up the centre-backs, get the defensive midfield player who can be dominant and do what we need him to do, and get the right winger. You know what I'm saying? Leo Bryan says, Mark, can you say happy Valentine's to my wife, Candy? She's on vacation in Savannah, Georgia. Cheers, mate. Well, I'm not Mark, but happy Valentine's Day to Candy as well. I'm sure when Mark gets back.
About now.
Say. Yeah, okay.
So yeah, I wasn't listening obviously because I was in the toilet. But what was your general sense on the De Gea?
Basically, cut a long story short, De Gea is not the biggest of our problems. He needed to kick up the arse competition-wise with Dean Henderson coming in. I think he's done that. Yes, he's had a couple of mistakes, but nowhere near as bad as he's been playing. I think he's upped his game. And our biggest situation is, I was saying, I'd rather rip up the two centre-halves and start again. I'd rather get rid of Maguire and Lindelof, but it's never going to happen. So get the proper centre-halves in the summer, get the proper defensive midfielder, address the big areas, and then you can then look to fine-tune it. The keeping situation is not the biggest of our worries.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, looking at it from a common sense point of view, that's absolutely spot on. The changing we don't need to change the goalkeeper. We don't need to buy a goalkeeper. If you want to give Dean Henderson a go, that's absolutely fine. But I guarantee you will still be having the same conversations about the centre backs because Dean Henderson won't be able to save everything that they throw at him. And I think that centre backs are the biggest issue. And if De Gea is, and I actually think De Gea's had a good season. And the funny thing is, we do every game. We do the player ratings, and I've seen lots of people saying De Gea's had a good season. But suddenly it's flipped this week, and this is the danger of the media. The media can drive things, and I think fan content can drive things. Whether it's United Stand, AFTV, whatever, I think you can drive things if you want to, and you have to be very, very careful about that. Which is why when people say, "Oh, you don't like McTominay," this is a nonsense. I definitely didn't like McTominay as a player, but I think over the last few months, I've definitely seen that. It just resonates what McTominay said a year ago in an interview. He called himself a box-to-box player, and then we don't play him as a box-to-box player. And Ollie said in his interview, so-called CDM. Well, he's not a so-called CDM. He has been a CDM. He's sat in front of those centre-backs with Fred, playing very, very deep. However, in the games where he's allowed to push forward, like Leeds, you've seen a different McTominay. And so Ollie can say so-called CDM. He's been played as a CDM. Everybody can see that. What we want to see from him today is playing as a box-to-box, and that's when McTominay, for me, becomes this player. But you will get fans 100%. You'll get fans going, "Oh, you don't rate him," but he's not been playing as a box-to-box player. So if you say, "Oh, I've backed McTominay for the last 18 months," well, you're a fool because he's not been playing like this for the last 18 months. He's not been allowed to play as a box-to-box player.
Yeah, I don't know about fool, but I think you'd be backing. I think you'd be more backing. My new word, fool. I'm gonna nick it. Yeah, is that your new? I think you're more backing like what you believe he can go on to be, and backing the individual as a character.
Yeah.
Because his performances, in our system where he's been asked to play or instructed to play, like you said, have been to sweep up, protect the back four, marshal that area, and be a protector. And that's restricting him. I think that's limiting from his game. And you only have to listen to Solskjaer's press conference, his comments after the last game against who did we play again? West Ham, sorry. Where he says we need to unleash Scott. Like, you know, he used to be a striker when he was younger. Talking about how we need to get the best out of him in that department. Ollie's saying it. So even Ollie's like, I'll tell you what, Jose kind of brought this kid through and wanted him to be the kind of next Matic. But actually, we've got a player who can offer way more than that. And I don't mind that. I do not mind that at all. My thing with McTominay is at the beginning, I think it was because of the confusion of where he was playing. I was like, I wasn't sure what he offered. I wasn't sure what his niche skill set was. I wasn't sure whether he's a defensive midfielder. Is he a 6? Is he an 8? Is he an attacking mid? I didn't know because he wasn't excelling in any of them. And I know partly of that was because he's young. But now I see someone who's maturing and someone who's showing us and the coaching staff, allow me to do this role and you'll get the best out of me. And I don't mind that. I think he's got a spot.
Do you know, this is a question for you, do you know somebody on Instagram called Young Six?
Young Six?
He's an Afrobeats trapster. He's got 2 million followers. 2 million followers.
Young Six?
Yeah.
No.
YUNG6IX.
Let me have a look. Why? What have they said?
No, he just DM'd me on Insta last night. We're talking about centre backs for Man United, and I was like, oh.
Mark in the rap game.
I am, as you know. I'm big into my rap, so I know who he is, and I thought, oh, I wonder if Flex will know who he is.
You only know who he is because you're DMing him now.
He DM'd me. But obviously watches United stand. No, I've always listened to his stuff. I've always listened to it.
How do you spell it?
YUNGSIX on Insta. He's getting a shout out here.
Yeah, he is. I can't find him.
Let's have a look.
YUNG. YOUN.
YUNG6IX.
6IX.
We're 3 minutes away from kickoff.
Why are we doing this?
Kevin Logan, welcome to the members club. And Knuckles says, I think we're in the middle of a phase. Our rebuild, I expect it to extend to about 2021. And did you see Paul Parker's comments about Maguire? Yeah, we saw that. Yeah, he was. It's opinion, isn't it? Right. Okay. So, what was your score prediction, Flex?
3-1.
3-1.
3-1.
I've gone 4-0.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I was just looking at the league table though. They're not bottom. They've got 12 points and they're about 13 points away from safety. They need to start winning, West Brom. I think some people, as I said, I don't know whether you saw some people tweeting this morning. They're like, well, today's a straightforward game. It's about getting goals and confidence. And I was like, bloody arrogance. The arrogance. We're not playing bloody Swindon. We're playing West Brom. They're not. You know, this league is anything but... It's 11 against 11, and that's exactly what Sam will be saying. Sam Allardyce will be 11 against 11. This United side can bottle it. Sheffield United deserve to beat them. If you get at them, they don't like it. So, you know, I think if we win today, it's good.
Before we played Arsenal, not directly before, he was saying, yeah, of course they've been in a relegation battle. We're wondering what's hit them.
Yeah.
They're not used to being down here. The same way he would say, you know, they're at the top. They might not be used to being at the top of this team, and pressure will get to them, you know?
Yeah.
Can't underestimate these teams. So 100%, man. Like, that's why I'm not going into this thinking it's a walkover. Start every single attacking player going and then take them all off because we'll win 4-0 by the 60th minute and get them all off. Don't work like that.
All I want to see is not McTominay and Fred staying in front of our centre-backs. I want to see a high line and I want to see McTominay running past Bruno. And I think if that happens, we'll win.
It'll be fine. It's if he stays next to Fred, like you said, going side to side. He needs the license or the willingness to say, right, I'm off. You hold this, Fred. They haven't even got the ball.
Yeah, exactly. All right, mate. Well, I'll get you on at half time.
All right. Yeah, nice one. See you then.
Catch you in a bit. You can follow Flex on Twitter. And we need to use Scott similar to how City uses Ilkay. Forward runs into the box when we're opposition's half. Exactly. I think it's really important that we do see that today. I want to see that from Manchester United. And I think we will see it because it would be odd of the manager, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, to talk about Scott McTominay being a box-to-box player and licensed to get forward, and then not allow him to get forward. Anyway, game's kicked off. Let me get the timer on. Literally only just kicked off, so don't worry about that. Timer's there for you as well. Get your score predictions in as well. Thanks for all the super chats, by the way. You can do that through the $ if you want. And good luck if you're playing low 6. Links in the video description for that. Give it a download and play. £1,000 cash prize pot in there as well. Yeah, I mean, look, we all talk a good game before a game, don't we? We do. We're like, oh, we're going to win it 4-0. Then the game kicks off and you think, you know what? It is 11 against 11. It's competitive. Of course it is. And they're going to chuck a long ball throw-in into the box here right now. McTominay wins it. That's what he's there for. Important player, McTominay, today. Let's just see how high McTominay plays in this game. I think that's the thing I would say. How high is Scott McTominay going to play in this game? What's our shape going to be? Are we going to sit deep? Are we going to get at them? And at the moment, it's West Brom who started off on the attack with the ball, which they will do. You know, I think, you know, we talk about winning 4-0 or whatever. Some people even say 8-0 or something stupid like that. But they're going to put high balls into the box, which is why I'm also surprised Eric Bailly could have been an option today. But Maguire, look at Fred and McTominay here, right in front of the back four, which they're going to have to be. Cross to the back post, 1-0. Lindelof all over the place. All over the place. Bloody Lindelof all over the place. He might get a foul, but that's a bloody joke. How's that got anything to do with David De Gea? It's the bloody centre-backs. Is he playing for them? Is Lindelof playing for them? What is Lindelof doing? Is he playing for West Brom? Bloody hell. They've only just got going and we're 1-0 down. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. He's the wrong side of him. There's a mismatch in height. He's just bullied. He's got... Oh, my God. Lindelof is useless. Who sticks up for Lindelof? He comes in from behind. He's coming through the back door. Lindelof's in front of him. Oh, he's been bullied out of that. There's no way De Gea can save that. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And people don't... Well, I think that might be a bit of a foul. VAR might have a look at this. No, they're not. They're not. They're bloody not. Oh, I don't believe it. Bloody hell. That is just ridiculous start from Manchester United. 1-0 down already. Well, Sky Sports, get it on about De Gea then. Go on, get Gary and Graham and bloody Jimmy to talk about how it's De Gea's fault. He's got to come for that. He's got to save that. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. The problem at Manchester United is the centre-backs. Get out and go. Go on now, go. Walk out the door. Don't turn around now. You're not welcome here anymore. Crap centre-backs again, costing us goals. But no, let's talk. Let's spend 10 minutes talking about De Gea before the match. Fools, absolute fools in the media. They talk about the goalkeeper. Look at the real issue at Manchester United. The centre-back partnership is a bloody joke, and any United fan who watches this every week knows full well the problem at Manchester United is their bloody defence. We will achieve nothing. We will not get to finals. We will not win titles with those two at the back. And... just frustrating. Absolutely frustrating. Bailly and Maguire are our best centre-back pairing. You can't achieve things if you don't have good centre-backs. Nonsense. He didn't even get bullied. He was like, as I was watching the film Aliens, came out of his chest. Like, he's got the body shape and he comes through behind and goes, oh, I'll have that. Talk about nicking your pocket. And look, there's nothing De Gea's going to do from there. 6 yards out. Power on the header. Oh my God. Even the Malaysian media have been talking about our defence partnership before the game, says Sampat. And Neville said it was the centre-backs, Mark. Listen to the commentary. Come on. No, I'm talking about before the game when they were talking about David De Gea being the problem. That's what I'm talking about. In England this week, all we've heard about is David De Gea. And I said it after the game last week. This is dangerous. because it lets off the real problem. The reason we drew with Everton was because of our centre-backs. But now let's talk about De Gea. It's the centre-backs. I'm not having it anymore. The centre-backs. Every United fan knows it's the bloody centre-backs. Hit it, Rashford. Hit it. Oh, why didn't he hit it first time? Bay's on the bench, and I bet he'll come on with at least 10 minutes to go. So annoying, says Niall Borman. Mark, I keep saying Lindelof is absolutely crap. Kev laughed at me before, but I'm right. He doesn't have the traits to be a Premier League centre-back. Maguire in no man's land, leaving everyone on side. Lindelof made a paper, says Jay Shot. I haven't even looked at the goal other than Lindelof at the moment. People saying West Brom is going to put pressure on De Gea with long balls when it has to be the centre-back's job to do their job, point in case we concede, says Salah Ahmed. This centre-back pairing will be the death of Ollie's Man United career, but De Gea could have done more to come out and get the ball in the air. He needs to be more assertive, says B2. No. No. That cross is not a goalkeeping cross. It's low. It's not a high cross. He's not going to get there for that cross. Goalkeepers come for crosses that are high in the air. If that's high in the air and it comes down, then maybe in his 6-yard box he should come for it. That cross is down here. That's not a goalkeeping cross to come and get. I'm not having that. No way. Lindelof is useless as a knitted condom, says Edward Walters. It would have holes in it if you don't know anything about knitting. So Man United 1-0 down. I'm not going to panic, but you should be getting a clean sheet in a game like this. Mark, this is what I feared against West Brom. Big Sam teams are always organised. Going to be hard to break down. Ollie proved me wrong, says Niagan. Okay, yeah, the centre-back ain't great, but if Rashford is bad again today, he needs to be dropped. He's always offside and lazy. He had a chance to have a shot there, Sean, to be honest. He could have got it out his feet. Here's Maguire with a cross to the back post. Bruno with a cross. Needs to be attacking that. Luke Shaw's in the box, and Fred shoots straight at the keeper. I mean, it's a good response from United. I mean, we're 1-0 down without actually having done anything, to be fair. But plenty of time to go. We need to just relax. But what I'm worried about is that West Brom have done nothing to get in front. So that worries me a little bit. How is he onside? Ref, get your bloody flag up. He was offside. He's offside. You know what? To be honest with you, I thought that might have been a bit of a foul on Lindelof on the goal. I'm not going to defend Lindelof, but I think it's... well, somebody should defend him because he can't do it himself. Here we go. Here's the cross on the goal. No, De Gea can't come and get that cross. But he has got his hand on his face. I mean, the reality is, as a centre-back, you'd be embarrassed to get a free kick for that. But he has got his hand on his face. So, but Lindelof should have been a lot stronger. You've got to be stronger than that. Nigel, you can't blame De Gea for historic staying on his line. He can't. That's not a cross to come and get. That is not a cross for a goalkeeper to come and get in a million years. Centre-backs is useful as an ashtray on a motorbike, says Fred Raymond. And don't worry if Arsenal can break down Big Sam, anyone can. Yeah, there's plenty of time. There's plenty of time. You know what? I don't think we're going to lose the game. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I don't think we're going to lose the game. But what we're talking about is what happened last week against Everton and what has happened here. You know, we're giving up goals in games that we shouldn't be giving goals up in. Soft goals all the time. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. So frustrating to be 1-0 down already. We're trying to get up to 985,000 today. We're about 300 away. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. We're live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 a.m. We've got the fan forum. We've got match reaction with the player ratings. Lots to get involved with, and obviously live every match day as well. Getting a bit of a cough here. Sorry, I had a super chat here from... if this is what anyone else on the pitch, it would have been a foul. Feel for Lindelof, if I'm honest, is Connor Patrick. You know what, Connor? I actually have seen it. I do think it probably is a foul because he's got his hand on his face. And I was very surprised it didn't get reviewed on VAR. I did think when I saw it... When I first saw it, I just thought bad defending. But when I saw it again, I thought that was a foul. But having said that, he should be loads stronger than that anyway. He's been bullied. He has been bullied. I think he probably has been illegally bullied, but he should still be doing a lot better than that. Maguire is a Poundland William Prunier. Put him next to Usain Bolt and still be rubbish. I'd have to look at it. Pontius Partridge there. I'd have to look at it again to see if Maguire's at fault for anything on the goal. I didn't see anything. So frustrating Rashford didn't take that shot. He always tends to do that crap. Almost every match he does that small touch. Why not just shoot? I think he should have had a shot, yeah. Good strength by Wan-Bissaka. I'm not Ollie out, but I'm starting to get tired of him picking the disaster duo of Maguire and Lindelof. Can he not see they don't work together? And I think that's a good point from Raul. You look at that chance, you look at that goal, and Eric Bailly is taller than Lindelof. He's stronger than Lindelof, and he's going to deal with that cross better than Lindelof. And if he's fit enough to be on the bench, he should be fit enough to be in the team. If I'm Maguire there, I'm tearing Lindelof to shreds. For all his faults, he wins a lot of headers. Lindelof needs to learn from him, foul or not be strong, says Jake Marshall. Yeah. I'd have to look at it again at half time, but I don't think you can put the blame on De Gea, on Lindelof. But you know the big problem is this Digne up front is playing next to Lindelof. I can't understand. This is one thing to take away tactically. I'm watching this game. It's a mismatch. Look at Lindelof and Digne now. It's a mismatch for height. Why? And he's obviously going to go on Lindelof. He's going to beat Lindelof in the air every time. So either Maguire needs to say to Lindelof, we're swapping, and I'm going to stick with him, or you get Eric Bailly on. But he hasn't grown at kickoff. He's not grown 4 inches at kickoff. He's not like a bloody penis that grows when it gets excited. He's always been however big he is. And we knew this before the game kicked off. We knew he was that height. There's a mismatch in height between their striker and Victor Lindelof. And it's a problem. It's a problem because if they get the right ball in the box again, he'll win the header again. Ray Carl says it's a foul. What the hell? He's got his hands in his face. And the whistle went up for offside anyways for Rashford. You should all stop moaning. It wouldn't have counted anyway, says Stark. Arguably, Greenwood's been our best winger last few games, so why has he been dropped? The favouritism is getting a bit much now, says Sean. And I'm sick of Rashi being moved to right wing for Martial, disrupting his game, says Bobby. Well, there's a chance for a ball to come into the box here. It's not a very good ball. Let it go, let it go. Long time to go in this game. We don't need to get stressed. But I am a bit worried about that mismatch in height between Lindelof and Digne, if that's how you pronounce it. Maguire played everyone onside. Watch again, says Rajas. Well, I'll check that at half time. I will have a look at that at half time. I did have a pen and I've lost it. It's ran off, like our defence. That's annoying. Oh, there it is. You know, it doesn't matter who you're playing. It doesn't matter whether you're playing Manchester City and you're worried about Gundogan or you're worried about Salah for Liverpool. West Brom are a Premier League side, and just because they're in the bottom 3 doesn't mean they're going to turn up and take it. They're gonna be competitive, and the issue with this lad up front is he's massive compared to Victor Lindelof, and we've lost a goal because of it. And we should have looked at that, and we could have looked at that, and we could have played Bailly. The issue at United is ownership. Not enough football people in charge of key positions, says Nick. And completely agree on our centre-back pairing, says Paul. They're not a great partnership, but Ollie is at fault for always picking them. We already knew it. United got the worst defence in the Premier League and the best attack, but the whole team never turns up playing the worst side, says Pokeball. And Lindelof has never won a header at United. This should not come as a surprise, says Siggy. And Lindelof offers no aerial ability, strength or speed at centre-back. He just bullied out of games, says Jordan White. But I think it's a mistake on the coaches, to be honest. I mean, look, I still think we'll come back and win it, but we've given West Brom the lead here because we are, it's a mismatch. It's a right mismatch. Just look at it. The height difference between the West Brom striker and Lindelof is a joke, and we've walked into that trap. I mean, he's taller than McTominay. Lindelof just went ahead of there. Everyone cheer. I've got a tickly throat. There's Luke Shaw. Very disrespectful of me to say this, but I did say that West Brom team, as much as I don't really know many of their players, they look energetic and they look like they're gonna run around a lot. And I know that sounds really basic, but that's Sam Allardyce. He simplifies the game. Organised, win 50-50s, win second balls, and be physical. But look how deep McTominay and Fred are playing again. He's got to push up. That's better from McTominay. Push up. Got to play higher up the pitch. Steady on, you're rocking, Mark. Says Peter Jones. You're knocking your screen. Oh yeah, I've ruined my bloody screen. You're right. It's all coming out. It's all going to break. The bloody wheels. I'm going to break my bloody studio here. Hi Mark, not sure why, but whenever I imagine Allardyce taking, I picture him eating a pie. Got a really tickly throat now. It's annoying. Every man and his dog knows Blunderloff isn't up to United standard. Do we blame him or are we picking him? Says Dodgy Pete. Look, I'm not going to put the blame on Lindelof, even though the blame needs to go on Lindelof, because we're a centre-back pairing, and what we keep doing is we blame one centre-back, then we blame the other centre-back, then we blame one centre-back. Last week Maguire cost us the points against Everton. This week Lindelof has cost us the goal here. The reality is it's not about individualism, it's about the partnership. The partnership of that centre-back is the issue. That it's a bad partnership. Centre-back pairing a mistake, but so is playing Fred and McTominay in a game like this. Donny should 100% be starting in the Pogba role. Ollie be braver, says Caleb. Well, Fred's pushing forward as well. Why can't one of them just sit and one of them push forward? Why does it have to be overcomplicated and swap? Offside. Roger says Big Sam has identified your weaknesses. Nice ball over the top. Rashford with the flick. Cavani won't get that. We can't get the ball to Cavani, says Keps. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, 20 minutes have flown by in this game, haven't they? Not even joking. It has gone very fast. Lindelof wins the header. It's a foul. It's going to be a very stop-start game as well. I mean, we should have highlighted that before the game kicked off as well. It will be a very stop-start game against West Brom. There'll be a lot of free kicks and stuff because that plays into their hands. We miss Pogba, no creativity in the midfield, says AJ Flores. We can't get the ball to Cavani, which we've done. And hey Mark, could you say my friend Ricardo is a prat? I see a 3-1 win for United, says Andrew K. I hope we see a win for Manchester United. It would be a travesty if we didn't win this game. But you can't build a house on no foundation, and your centre-back pairing is a foundation, and it's on sand. It really is. It doesn't matter who coaches United, even if Guardiola coach says we wouldn't be backed with the transfers he wants. It's on the board, and the Woodwards and Glazers out, says Stratos. A potential 10-point gap. Man City are running away with it, says Siddharth. There's an injury here for West Brom. Everyone who said Donny was crap against West Ham, look how much of the ball Bruno is getting in that 10 role. McFred can't play through the lines. Very good point from Sean Negative Turner. Well, it's not just that. Bruno and Cavani are isolated already. Well, I've just tweeted this, Sean. You might quite like it. I said, Bruno and Cavani isolated already. McFred playing too deep to protect Magaluf and don't have the passing to break the lines quick. Which I think is a fair start, isn't it? You know, it's very predictable what Manchester United's issue is. You can't spend all week saying we need a top-class centre-back and a top-class CDM and then be surprised when we concede goals because we don't have a top-class centre-back, and can't and isolate our forwards because we haven't got a CDM who can pass the lines. What's your score predictions? I'll say 2-1 United, says Bobby McDonald. I still think that's probably a good score. My score prediction was 4-0, so I'm out. But, you know, I said it when we went live this morning. I said that don't disrespect West Brom, because we did that against Sheffield United. And, I expect Man United to win this game. I don't think there's anything wrong with being a Manchester United fan expecting us to win this game. We should demand to win this game. It's unacceptable if we don't. But let's not walk into games going, oh, yeah, we'll get a couple of goals here, there and everywhere and we'll win the game, because, you know, it's not necessarily going to be the case. Against teams like this, Ollie's lack of style of play really stands out. If we want to win a league, we need to learn possession play. This is not my legend. And don't want my children growing up witnessing this dreadful centre-back pairing, says Robert Johnson. Yeah. Here's Rashford on the right wing. That's a good cross. Oh, it could have gone in. Deflected. Martial wants a corner. I thought it was a corner. If Martial gets something on this, why is it not a goal? He really wants a corner, Martial. Yeah, because he's bloody West Brom player. What a prat. That's a bloody corner. God. Good cross by Rashford, though. Natural right wing cross. Mark McTominay's played well since he took a big poo. Maybe if Maguire takes a dump, he could be world class, says Gowdy. Oh, you've got to laugh, haven't you? You have got to laugh. Good joke there. What's Lindelof doing here? Giving silly free... Oh, well done, Victor. Give silly free kicks away that they can knock the ball into the box for. Have a bit of bloody patience. Someone get him that Take That song. Don't give silly free kicks away. This is just an opportunity. You can't give... You know, it's like when you used to play against Stoke. Don't give away silly free kicks, because they'll whack them into the box. It's like Lindelof. It's like bloody arranging your own funeral. You gave the bloody free kick away. Here it comes into the box anyway. Bloody hell, another one. It's won another one. Who's marking who here? Just pushes Lindelof out the way. Oh my God. Watch what he does to Lindelof. Just pushes him away with his arm. Bloody hell, get him off. And again, get him off. Get him off. That could have been 2-0. Like, why would you not make the change now? It's not about embarrassing somebody. It's about bloody trying to win a bloody game of football. Mourinho, in his prime, would take Lindelof off and get Bailly on now. It's not about favourites. It's not about personalities. It's not about upsetting somebody. It's about trying to win a game of football. And I tell you what, West Brom, they look a threat when they put crosses in. to that Digne, and he puts himself against Lindelof. Why is Maguire not marking him either? It's a set piece. Why you don't, there's no excuse for Maguire not to be marking him there. Give me strength. The Lord is my shepherd, it says on the side. Rashford on the right-hand side. Goes to McTominay. Got to start putting some balls into the box, We are. Look, we are trying to press high when we get the ball, but look how many men West Brom have got back. Luke Shaw. To Bruno. It's cleared. Come on. Get it up. Get Arik on now, says Anthony Jenkins. And welcome to the Members Club, Alvin Mighty. Every man and his dog knows Blunderloff isn't up to United standards. Do we blame him or are we picking him? Well, I think today, Dodgy Pete, he should have done that. He should have picked Eric Bailly. It's very obvious now, isn't it? Bailly would have shown that dude how to really bully, says William. And West Brom have got another attack on here. They'll try and win a corner because that's their best opportunity. Maitland-Niles cross comes in. Luke Shaw. Saved by De Gea. Another cross. Another header. They're winning everything in the air, which is not surprising. Corner. Tipped over by De Gea. You'd expect him to make that save, really. It's embarrassing, isn't it? I mean, look, in a bigger picture, I still think we can win this game, but, people getting disappointed that we're not in a title race yet. Look at our centre-backs. It is that simple, isn't it? Phil Jones is better than Lindelof, says Bears. What, injured? If United lose, then Chelsea will be happy and we can make top 4, says Anand. Well, I don't really give a shit about Chelsea, to be honest with you. They are a bad set. The thing is, I don't even feel guilty saying it. They are terrible as a centre-back pairing, and everybody's said it. I mean, as I said, Rio Ferdinand said it ages ago. They give him nightmares. It's not a fan theory. It's common knowledge that those two as a centre-back pairing are a joke. Awful. That's nice by. That's lovely play. We'll have a corner. No, we won't. Shaw not jumping again. How is he meant to be good? Says Henry. But it's okay. We're now going in on Luke Shaw, are we? Doesn't win one header. Been absolutely brilliant for the last 6 weeks, but now we're going to attack Luke Shaw. Why don't people focus on the real issue at Manchester United instead of going after goalkeepers or fullbacks? Look at why we're conceding goals week after week for the last 6 months. It's called the centre-back pairing, and until that gets sorted out, we won't improve. Do you think Donny could make a difference as M&K Group? I just want to reiterate my hatred for this defensive pairing. They should have been disallowed because Harry's was chalked off a couple of weeks before, says Aditya. Is Cavani with a bit of space, gets it wide to Bruno. Fred. Lindelof fouls. He's all over the place. He cannot deal with him, Victor Lindelof. Just cannot deal with him. If I was giving Lindelof a mark out of 10 so far, I'd give him a -2. But whether it was a foul on Lindelof or not, let's not get lost on the fact that we're half an hour in. If only we have a good defence, says Kimmy. And welcome to the Members Club, Ethan Cooper. Ollie needs to stop picking favourites or it will cost him his managing career. Why not play Bay against Digne? Why? Says Samuel. Why are we playing a 4-2-3-1 against a low block? Plus, why is Fred the only one who's pushing forward? We are not holding enough possession. Yeah, I don't like... I was trying to sort Sharath Kamath fitness there. I don't like McFred against the low block. There's not enough creativity there. That's what I was trying to say, really, is that, yeah, we can moan about Lindelof, we can moan about the goal, we can moan about the centre-back pairing, we can moan about the weakness from the high ball, but we've not created anything against a relegation side in half an hour. We're not creating chances. And look, whatever you want to say, teams like Liverpool, Man City, maybe even a Chelsea, they would be creating chances against them. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is better than Shaw, says Pete Squire. Nothing's been said. I don't know what you're talking about, Pete. I said it once, I'll say it again. Those centre-backs were playing in my back garden and I would shut the curtains, says Stephen Atkinson. And you need to concentrate on the problem, Mark. It's the manager. We have Eric and Donny on the bench. Both improve the spine of our team. Ollie is poor, says Lewis Barnes. And Bruno with a wild ball there. Gabriel is the stopgap football. Is this stopgap football? Says Zayn Biassi. There's a tactical issue in this game. I'm not going to say that there isn't. There's a tactical issue in this game, and if he doesn't change it, we're going to lose. I'm waiting for Solskjaer to change it. That doesn't mean changing the personnel, but he's got to change this very, very quickly. I mean, McTominay's basically playing as a back. We're playing a back five. McTominay's marking their striker. That whenever there's a high ball, McTominay is marking their striker. So, you know, Ollie can say so-called CDM. He's basically playing as an additional centre back every time we have a ball. Neville is also pointing out Maguire should be taking ownership against Digne. It's really frustrating. Ollie can see the blatant issues at the back. Harry Lunn, I don't listen to the commentary, but if he is saying that, we've been saying that on this show for... When did I say it first? Everton in the league about 6 months ago. I think it was Everton last season. Maguire is always the spare man. He thinks he's bloody Luther Matthäus. He thinks he's a bloody sweeper. You're not. You're a 6'5" centre-back who's good in the air. But he thinks he's Luther Matthäus. He's always the spare man. I'm the playmaker. I don't mark anybody. And what did we spend £80 million on? And again, it's tactical. You're an £80 million header of the ball. Do your bloody job. But he's obviously being told not to do that job. He's always the spare man, and I'm glad that's being called out. Anyway, we've got a corner here. And it's cleared by West Brom. Is it too soon to do a double sub? Take off Lindelof and bring on Van der Beek for McFred, says NPE. It's never too soon to make a sub when you're not doing very well. Been looking at him every time West Brom get a corner free kick cross, he positions alone on the far post, always tracks in early to keep everyone on side, says Storyfire. Well, keep an eye on it, because people don't keep an eye on it. Time is moving on. What do you think if McSauce plays centre-back like when he does in the national team, says Pablo Gonzalez? I think he'd do a better job than Lindelof at centre-back, but we're meant to be seeing McTominay as a seed, I mean, how can Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in an interview say McTominay's a so-called CDM? I mean, he's been playing as a CDM for most of the season. He is the CDM now. He's playing deeper than Fred. McTominay is playing deeper than Fred. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer puts in inverted quotes as he's a so-called CDM. Ollie, people ain't fucking blind. You've been playing him as a CDM all season, and he's playing CDM now. He's the deepest midfielder we've got. And I know why you're doing it, because you're terrified of Digne, and you want McTominay to stand in front of him. But don't say he's not a CDM, because you're playing him as a CDM. We all want him to be a box-to-box player. Ollie even knows to play him as a box-to-box player, but he's not. He doesn't dare do it. We are shit scared of West Brom in this game. We are shit scared of a second from bottom side. Manchester United at the Hawthorns against second bottom West Brom are playing terrified at the moment. We've got to exert ourselves. We're second in the league. We've got quality players. That's good by McTominay. A good run into the box. The pass isn't good enough. What keeps Williams on the bench instead of keeping Diallo when there's already better wing-back options, says Dwell. Didn't we get Maguire just for this reason, to deal with bigger strikers? Why is not Maguire picking this guy up? Well, you know, it won't be Maguire's fault. It will be tactical. It's been going on for months. He's always the spare man. Every player looks hungover, slow and crap today, says Sean Atwood. Well, you know, it's the same old problem. You know, Bruno's not having a good game. Rashford's not having a good game. Martial's not having a good game. Cavani's not having a good game. What's the common denominator there? You know, all our forwards are not having a good game. Well, it can't just be that they're all having a crap game. It's because we're not getting the ball to them. Good win by Fred there. And then he gives it away because he can't fucking pass. He's been fouled in the process, but you can't pass. Can't pass. Why though says, do you think Ramos will come to us? If so, Eric and Ramos would be my dream pairing. The future is Harry Maguire, and the future at Manchester United is Harry Maguire. So you've got to find a player to play with Harry Maguire, and you've got to get the best out of Harry Maguire. And I think for me, Harry Maguire is very good in the air. He's not a bloody sweeper. He's got to get... I mean, to me, it's just it's arse about face. Like, Harry Maguire's made 2 or 3 runs into the box, right? And Lindelof's picking up the big striker. It doesn't make any sense because Lindelof can carry the ball anyway. Surely Lindelof should be the player carrying the ball into the box and Maguire should be marking the big striker. But it's the other way round. Maguire's the one making the runs into the box and Lindelof is left with the striker that dwarfs him. And this happens time and time again. But to me, it doesn't make any sense. But, you know, what do I know? Good run by Rashford. Lays it into Cavani. We should get a free kick. Martial, lay it back, Martial. Oh, why don't we go back to the free kick for Rashford? Crazy to think United could have signed Diaz before City. Would have had a huge impact on our defence, as Paul Talbot. Do you think Ramos will come to us? If so, Eric and Ramos would be my... I've done that one from Why Though. Mark, I'm so bored of this. It's like Groundhog Day. We never learn. How does every chance always fall to Fred? Because no one marks Fred, Aaron, because they know he'll miss it. Thanks for the super chat from Yeats. We're so off right now, says Dougie. Please subscribe to the channel, by the way. We're trying... Wait a minute. Corner. Luke Shaw. Crap. Cleared. Please subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We're closing in on 985,000. That's the target for today. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. We have got player ratings in the second half. Match reaction. The fan forum with Flex KG. Kev, Alex and Jay, but at the moment we are currently 50 subscribers away from 985,000, so please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Harry's not a sweeper, he's a hoover. Same thing, Sinner, same thing. Thanks for all the super chats, by the way. Opposition strikers are sticking to Lindelof because they can bully him. They know if Maguire gets pulled out of position to cover him, it creates space, says Dodgy Pete. Yes, and you're right there, Dodgy Pete, but there are, you know, it doesn't mean you allow that to happen. If somebody attacks you, do you just let it happen or do you have a counter attack? You know, there are ways to be clever. And also, that's fine and fair well on fair play, on free play, but on a cross or a corner, then why would Maguire not mark him? Harry James says, my dead granddad is more solid than Lindelof. Everyone who said Donny was crap against West Ham, look how much of the ball Bruno is getting in that 10 role. McFred can't play through the line, says Sean Negative Turner. And Brendan Rodgers changed things mid-play and put 3 past Liverpool, says Colin Murphy. Well, to be fair, I'm sad to say this, but we're 5 minutes from half time. They scored after 3 minutes. Where's the response? I'm actually quite surprised that we have let this game drift. I cannot believe it's nearly half time. poor. Really poor. We've wasted half the game here by, we may as well have said to West Brom, we'll just play 45 minutes and you can have a 1-0 lead. Because we've done fucking nothing. And this Maguire thing's not working. Oh, have a run, Harry. You run the ball up. Like, the reason he's running the ball is because they're not bloody scared of him. They're letting him have it. I just simply don't understand how Donny, Twansebi or Bay would be a downgrade from what's on the pitch right now, says Santiago. And I think that's a big point, isn't it? I don't think any of us really care about Van der Beek, Twansebi, Bay being on the bench if the players in the first team are good enough. But the problem is they consistently aren't good enough. And it does make you think, how bad could they perform? Hope you and your family stay are going well, says Mohammed. The board should have bought a centre-back in January. Eric should have played today. Maguire should be doing better, not commanding enough, says Mohammed. I just simply don't understand how... I've done that one from Santiago. And Vignesh says, Mark, are we playing Chelsea or West Brom? This is crap. Really poor today. We haven't created anything. It's stunning, Vignesh, actually. I'm awaiting United to do something. I think we can win this game, but we look out of ideas. Bruno's not having a good game. We do miss Pogba, yeah. Do you think Ollie is protesting against the board? No, Pablo. I've heard that sort of thing before. Bruno's just gone down in the box here. He's really hurt. He's really hurt. Like, Bruno's is really hurt in the box. Man United play on. He's got up. Mark, I'm sick of the silly defending constantly. When the board gonna wake up, says Ethan Cooper. Van der Beek not seeing the field in an 8 role behind the front 4 at this point in the season is borderline sabotage for both United and Donny, says Ice Mooney. Well, Bruno's up now. United have just continued to play crab football. I mean, Fred... It ain't good enough, is it? Donny has to come on. Do you not find you are regularly describing halves of football we're playing recently as poor? What does this say, says Andrew Kelly. I think Rashford and Shaw work better on the left. Rashford is ineffective on the right. Give Martial a run on the right, may as well, says Aram. Mark Goldbridge, do you think Rashford looks like a hammer shark lost at sea against West Brom, says Henry HD. And... well, we've got a couple of minutes left of this half. It would be nice to get a goal before half-time. Like, flick by Martial, flick by Cavani, comes back to Maguire, who is basically playing like a left back. I think Maguire's getting in Luke Shaw's way a lot, to be honest. But it's sloppy from United, it really is. United enjoy the party while it lasts. Arsenal are coming for you, says Zane. It's never going to be that bad, mate. It's bad, but it's never going to be that bad. Fred to Maguire. See, I don't think Maguire pushing forward is really doing anything! What a goal by Bruno Fernandes! Luke Shaw with another assist, and Bruno is there to deliver again. We needed that right before half-time. What a volley by Bruno Fernandes. Pure class. Gets us out of jail again. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant this is. Maguire plays it to Shaw. The cross is absolutely brilliant by Luke Shaw to pick Bruno out. But Bruno's movement, look at that. Bang. Left foot volley. Left foot, right foot. Take it out. I'll tell you what. Criticise Bruno all you like. Come back. Come back to me when you've got some facts. And tell me then. No more questions. Absolute volley. I think he shins it as well. I think he shins this as well. But another assist for Luke Shaw. And a fantastic volley by Bruno. Sort of shins it. Doesn't matter. World class. Absolutely world class. And another assist for Shaw. Well, that gives us... Oh, fucking... We needed that. We needed that. An absolute shit half from United ends on a positive with the same two players providing again. Where would we be without Bruno and Luke Shaw in the last few weeks? Get rid of it, Luke. Well, there's a late corner to defend here. Luke Shaw's not happy there because... I mean, he's right not to be happy. Lindelof's got to stop the cross there. Fucking shit, Lindelof again. Why does he not put his foot out to block the cross? Luke Shaw's right. Well, look at it. Look at that. It's like queuing up for a bus on that front post. I think they're going to put the ball in the front post here. Look, bloody hell. Another corner. We've got to be careful. This is where West Brom have caused us problems. I tell you what, if you're not watching the game, there's a mass of players around the front post for West Brom. Come on, Harry, get your head on this. It's not a great cross. Fred. Bloody hell. Another corner. Just get to half time. Another corner here for West Brom. We're just about to hit half time. Please subscribe, by the way. Bottom right hand corner. We're very close to 985,000. Bottom right hand corner to do that. Cross comes in. Headed away by McTominay. That should be it. Martial. Quick chance on the break. Oh, fuck off, ref. Fuck off. Martial's about to break away and run a 3v2 and he blows the bloody whistle. Twat. Twat. That's like playing FIFA, that is. We're on the bloody break and he blows the whistle. Anyway, use that to get angry. That's what I say, Manchester United. So it is half time. Let me stop the clock. We'll have a look at the goal from Man United. Well, the Man United goal we know. Brilliant cross by Luke Shaw. Lovely ball by Maguire. Lovely cross by Luke Shaw and Bruno with a fantastic finish to get us out of prison again. But you know, let's call a spade a spade. That half was poor from Manchester United. I mean, the goal wasn't great. Having said that, we created very little, and we must create more in the second half because that wasn't laying siege to West Brom's half. It felt like a very equal game there, and I don't think it looks like second half we're going to take the game away from them. And many of us were predicting, you know, maybe a 3 or 4-0 win. We might take it away from them in the second half, but not good enough. And I think that. What worries me about that game is, like I said it during the game and I'll repeat it now. That lad who's playing up front for West Brom, he's not a penis. He hasn't got outside, got excited and grown in height. He was always that height. You look at him next to Lindelof, it's like that. He's here. Lindelof's here. You knew that in the week. You knew that was going to happen. And Eric Bailly's on the bench. And Eric Bailly's better in the air and more physical than Lindelof. So why not play Eric Bailly against a tall striker? We've conceded nearly 2 goals. We conceded 1. They nearly scored another one because Lindelof ain't good enough in the air. So, yeah, we can blame Lindelof. Of course we can. And we know the centre-back pairing is a joke. But I think tactically that's a real issue from the coaches to not have realised that their striker was going to dominate. I mean, it's obvious, isn't it? It's so obvious that West Brom are going to put high balls into the box. And then you allow Lindelof to be up against somebody who's taller than him and stronger than him. It's an accident waiting to happen, and it happened. The second thing is that McFred, not creative enough. Lots of the ball, not creative enough. We're not getting Rashford and Martial on the ball. We're not getting Bruno on the ball, and we're not getting Cavani on the ball because McFred are not creative enough. I'd love to see Van der Beek on, and I'd love to see Bailly on. I don't think he'll do it because He should have predicted this before the game, but he walks into this trap all the time. Favouritism between Lindelof and Maguire and favouritism between McFred. He always wants to play that 4, but in a game like this, they're not working. And the biggest issue for me is Victor Lindelof. It's an accident waiting to happen. I don't think McTominay's played badly, and I don't think Fred's played badly, but it's a bit like a centre-back partnership, isn't it? There's no creativity from the midfield, which means we're not getting the ball to our attack quick enough, which means people like Bruno, apart from the goal, hasn't had a good half. Cavani's not had a good half. Rashford's not had a good half. Martial's not had a good half, because they're not getting the ball quick enough. So tactically, there are 2 substitutions that could have been made there, that should be made there. And we do miss Paul Pogba, because obviously Pogba would be playing where Fred or McTominay's playing, and we would have that creativity from the midfield that we're lacking now. But lucky to be 1-1 at half time. Really good goal, but I do think we're a bit lucky to be going in 1-1 at half time. Flex, can you hear me?
Yeah, man.
Just let me read this. Fred is a defender playing at midfield, says Mario Tavares. Who actually said Wan-Bissaka is better than Shaw? Stupid. Lucas dragged us forward all season, says Jordan Brown. The ref is a C word, to be honest, says Yellow. And every man and his dog... No, I've done that one. Okay, so give us your thoughts on that half, Flex. Very interesting.
So typical. What did we say before the game? What was he saying? That we struggle against teams in the bottom 3. You look at how West Brom is set up. You know what's going to happen. He's got a few of his new signings in there. Bullied, naive defending, weak defending, spineless defending, and I'm just bored. I'm so bored and sick of it with the pair of them, in terms of how they just cannot dominate the area. They cannot be trusted to go and take control of a situation. And Lindelof just showed his frailties. I argued with KG on the last Flex and KG show, and he's saying Lindelof's dead, and I think, and I'm defending him. But that is one of the flaws in his game. You know, he can get roughed up. You know, he's been absolutely roughed up by that.
I said that in the first half, though. What do you think about this? I said in the first half, we've got to stop going from one game to the other. Like last week it was Maguire, this week it's Lindelof. In other weeks it's Maguire, then it's Lindelof. And then people are like, I actually like Lindelof. It's not Maguire's.
Yeah.
The reality is,
they're both just not the ones, man.
The partnership is the problem. Yeah. I don't argue that Maguire and Bailly or Maguire and bloody Koundé would be a good partnership. But maybe Lindelof and Van Dijk would be a really good partnership. Yeah. I'm not arguing that they're not good centre-backs, but as a partnership, they bring out the worst in each other.
That's exactly it. They both bring out the flaws in each other rather than the positives. And it's just so frustrating to keep seeing it happen. And I think what we saw from that whole first half here is everything that's kind of wrong with us, of why we're not where we want to be. Obviously, the centre-back partnerships. And then struggling to break down the low block, which we said if McTominay can be allowed to drive forward, etc., he hasn't really gotten the game. Martial
Look how deep Maguire is again, though. I'm just watching the goal back.
Yeah, so deep. That's what I mean. They don't go and take control of the situation. When that ball gets recycled, where they have the chance to be able to move up.
Watch Maguire here, everyone at home. Look how deep Maguire is compared to everybody else. It's like he's not even learnt from last week again.
Exactly. That's what I mean. We did not. So between the pair of them, that's both their flaws, but they just cannot go and take control of situations. Then we're seeing that we can't go and break teams down, and then we're seeing that we're relying on just something to happen. Bruno, before that goal, was awful. Absolutely, like, pretty much lost the ball every time he got it. Martial quiet. I think Rashford was probably the brightest. Fred was trying to recycle the ball, and we found ourselves with Harry Maguire in the inside left channel with the most time on the ball. And big up Luke Shaw for keep doing what he's been doing. Yeah,
I mean, did you think it was a foul on Lindelof? I did think it was a foul.
It could have been on another day, but
I think he's got to be stronger.
Just got bullied. Yeah. He just got bullied, man. The top centre halves, mate, he's not getting that header. He's not getting that header. If you're asking for a foul there, it's because you can't defend properly.
I'll tell you what I would say as well. Now I've just seen that back, because you focus on Lindelof, right? You've got. I'm not blaming Maguire for the goal, by the way, not nowhere near. But what I'm talking about is the defensive line is led by Maguire, and we're too deep. We're too deep there. We're basically defending on the edge of our 6-yard box, and that's not a cross De Gea can come and get. So if they put a good cross in and they get something on it, it's in. You've got to play a higher line there. We dropped too deep against the tall striker.
No command. That's what I mean. The centre back.
I do think it was a foul. I do think it was a foul, though. I do think it was a foul.
No, just looking back at it there. Soft, man. Yeah, he's got an arm. Yeah, okay, his arm's in his face. Yeah, I'm so wrapped up in that shit defending. I'm like, you get what you deserve.
I agree. I don't want it to be a foul. I'm glad it's not. I'm not glad it's not a foul, but I'm like, I don't want to give the excuse of a foul, because there's so much wrong with defending.
It. Yeah, it's weak. It's weak. It's really, really weak defending, and you got to call it out for what it is. And you're right, it could have been on another day. VAR, you never know. But that would have been criminal. And just the way we played after that.
Well, they nearly scored straight away after. Well, not straight away, but they put another cross in and he got pushed off. And headed it.
Exactly. Just getting roughed up, man. And we saw. I think we saw, like I said, the reasons why we've got gaping holes in our team where they're not filled yet. And this summer, we're fed up of talking about it. I mean, and then you look at the Bruno goal. It's like it feeds into the thing where people say it's just individual brilliance that's getting us through, because you can't keep playing in this way. You can't. It's not sustainable. It's not. It's a fact. Do you know what I mean? That's
do you think Solskjaer should have made a change in relation to that? Because this is such a mismatch between Lindelof and that striker, and he's got Eric Bailly on the bench. Do you think he should have actually, because we could have been 2-0 down?
Ideally, yeah. Ideally, yes. But this is where you're talking about big decisions and decisions that rock certain players and upset the dressing room. And we know that his they're saying he shinned it. You know that his preference is Lindelof and Maguire, and he just will not stray from it. But a brave person in that moment would do it. But then the argument is, don't panic. This is from Solskjaer's thinking. He's thinking, don't panic. He believes in his players, and then he's going to be going in at halftime saying, I'm justified in thinking that, when we can see the type of performance it weren't really that. That was just a moment of brilliance. Let's not get that twisted. That wasn't a sustained pattern of play. Yes,
you're
done
right,
well to keep them penned in. Done well to keep them penned in because they keep retreating and they're just doing a West Brom. But it was just a fantastic goal from nowhere.
Please subscribe, by the way. We're really close to 985,000. Bottom right hand corner to do that. I think we're about 10 away, so please subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. We will have the fan forum with Flex and KG and the lads after the game. We'll also be doing player ratings and my reaction, so lots to discuss. And also, we don't know which way this is going to go. It's not that game, is it, that I was talking about? And how many times do we make lower... I'll just go through some of the super chats quickly. How many times do we make lower quality teams look like they're the ones towards the top? That's a good point from Yeats again. Lindelof should have played the game and went down holding his face and screamed for the foul if he's going to be weak. Either way, Lindelof to blame. Good point, Josh D. John Moss is the VAR ref, says Lars. And you think Bay is that bad in training that he don't play? I agree with Flex. I think it's favouritism. I think he's got his favourites and he sticks by with them. But, we spoke about this before the game. There were some people on social media this morning saying today's about a straightforward win, couple of goals for people and confidence. Vidic watching with tears in his eyes, says Matt Maloney. And so it's transpired what we feared, that, actually we should be putting teams like this to the sword. What would you change? Because, you mentioned that goal by Bruno. It's a lovely cross. It's another assist for Luke Shaw. It's another goal for Bruno. That's no surprise now. They're ridiculously consistent, those two, at the moment. But I was over the moon, but I almost felt we've got away with it there to be 1-1 at half time. So we concede after 3 minutes, and then for 40 minutes...
nothing.
We do nothing. Why are we doing nothing? Because we talk about Lindelof, that's defensively. But what's going wrong offensively?
Yeah, 100%. We're struggling to create. Paul Pogba, if he was fit, would have played in that game next to a McTominay or next to a Fred. One of those two would have played. These are the games that Solskjaer has proved, to be fair to him, that he brings Paul Pogba into. The Fulham game, the Burnley game, the Sheffield United game, the first one. He brings him into these type of games where he anticipates that he's going to be playing against a team that's going to sit back in a low block. And you need that. You need the extra creativity in there, or you need McTominay to have the license, and obviously we don't have either. One with Pogba being injured, and McTominay hasn't been able to bring that.
I tell you what, I don't know whether you noticed it. I noticed that McTominay was playing deeper than Fred.
Yeah, at times, yeah. That's what I mean. Fred always. I know it's very quickly, but Fred is always like arriving late at the box, being in and around the edge of the box, getting shots off. I know disrespect to Fred, but his skill set, you don't really want him there. No. It's almost like I want to swap that round. Do you know what I mean? I want McTominay ending up on the end of them.
Well, McTominay's played like a CDM today, and I know Ollie goes, so-called CDM. Well, you are playing him as a CDM, and you've been doing it for most of the season. So he's not a so-called CDM. He's playing as a CDM. But the problem is, and look, I just think we go from one extreme to another in the fan base, and I'm not going to do it because McTominay will probably score a worldie in the second half, and everyone will go, "Oh, he's."
But guess what? He'll score, but he'll score the worldie from getting forward if he does do that.
But that first half from McTominay and Fred, I don't think they've been terrible, but the problem is we're talking about centre-back partnerships not working. We need to focus on the partnership, not the individual, because everyone will call Lindelof out after the game and everyone called Maguire after the game, and I did. But also, it's the partnership that doesn't work, and it's the McFred doesn't work. What McFred works well at is when you're playing Liverpool or Man City and you want a clean sheet. It doesn't work well against the teams like West Brom and Sheffield United, where you need to create chances because they don't have the creativity. And I don't know whether it's their license to be creative or they just don't have it in them.
Though, I think a bit about, because like I was saying, if you say to Scott McTominay, I tell you what, Scott, give me the third man run, keep getting forward as much as you can, keep going to try and support Bruno, try and get into the box, get your shot off, be an aerial presence for when Marcus is going to cross, get in there to be the third man run, get in there late, you know what I mean? Later,
but then you leave Fred on his own, who hasn't got the passing range, has he? You need a metronome. You need somebody to play the ball, and neither of them can do that. I think McTominay is probably better at it than Fred, but you want him further forward.
There you go, and that's what you're talking about. Them not complement each other in that type of game.
Should he make changes at half time? He probably won't, but should he make changes, and if so, what?
I think he's gonna again.
It's going to be a tight game, isn't it? I don't think we're going to win this 4-4-1.
No, it's going to be tight. I think Greenwood is going to have to come on at some stage. I think out of the two at the moment, as it stands, I think Rashford's been better than Martial so far. Not loads in it, but I think you put Rashford back on the left and bring Greenwood on to the right-hand side. And that name, Van de Beek, again, you know? I'm bored of saying it, but this is the perfect game for him, you know, to come in and kind of get a bit more of the ball, keep it ticking over, and play with a McTominay, or a Fred. So yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him come on.
Ollie should have had the defence and the ability to break down teams that sit back sorted a year ago, says David Pearce. And I should have learned my lesson by now that watching Man United gives me high blood pressure, says Sam. And people talk about Pogba, that we create more with him, but remember Fulham 2-1 win, how much we created then. It's tactics. Ollie's not good enough, says Dipanshu. If you could sign 3 players this summer, who would it be, says Fardin. And to be fair, McTominay did try and get forward a couple of times. At the end of the day, he's following orders from Ollie. I agree, Bradley. I do agree with you on that one. He's playing deeper than Fred. I've noticed that. He's playing deeper than Fred. You know why he's playing deeper than Fred? Because they're trying to stand him in front of Lindelof to deal with the tall striker. We've got a centre-back that we spent £80 million to do that, and we're putting a little boy up against a man, because the height difference is huge. What's going to happen second half, Flex? They're coming out now.
Yeah, I think I'm still confident that we'll find a way, but like you said, it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be plain sailing.
You look at West Brom just
sitting back.
Ollie said it before the game.
And you got to fight against teams in the relegation zone, man. You got to fight, and we gave them something to hang on to so early, and that changes the whole complexity from minute 1, really, or as soon as they score that early. So, but they did retreat quite far back. We've got to look out for these corners and set pieces now, and throw-ins. You know, he was doing Rory Delap at the beginning.
Yeah, he was. Okay, right. Well, we'll see you on the fan forum, mate, and let's hope we get the win.
Yeah. All right, nice one.
Cheers, pal. I agree with Flex. I think we will get over the line. I think we will win it. I think we can only be better second half. And Fernandes was nearly in there, so I do think we'll get over the line. But I think the question marks will and frustration will remain. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. I haven't seen if we've got to 985,000, but we were about 10 away. So bottom right hand corner to subscribe. I think we will win second half. I think we'll get a better performance second half. But I mean, McTominay's the deepest man all the time. He's taking the ball from the back 4. Look, how can Ollie say, so-called CDM? He plays him as a CDM. He's always the deepest man taking the ball off the back 4. But I think we will win it. But I think the questions that will come out from the win will be the same old thing. We're not good enough at centre-back, and we know that. And we need a proper CDM. That doesn't mean that Fred or McTominay have played bad, but we need a CDM to take the ball off the back 4 and provide the platform. And neither McTominay or Fred do that. I think Fred is a box-to-box player, and I think McTominay is a box-to-box player. We're crying out for a specialist centre defence midfielder and a top-class centre-back, and then I think United would improve. But look, to be wishing that Man City would drop points against Spurs and Liverpool so we could be in a title race, when you're looking at the table during the week, that makes a lot of sense in your head. But as soon as games kick off, you realise with United why we can't win a title, because you can't win a title with that defence. Bruno with the cross, bit better, corner for United. So a bit more of a positive start in the second half, which is good to see. Jacob says, laugh out loud, Fred is not a box-to-box player. Well, What is he then? We were talking about this week. What is Fred? He does have positive traits, but what is Fred? Because he's not a CDM and he's not a goal scorer. So somebody said it in the week, and I think they were right. He's an old-fashioned midfielder where you don't expect them to score goals and you don't expect them to just stand in front of your midfield. Luke Shaw with the cross. Oh, I thought Maguire was on that one. United have a Dutch Xavi Alonso on the bench and won't play him, says Ice Mooney. I think Ice Mooney's a big fan of Donny van der Beek. But yeah, no more high blood pressure in the second half. Let's get this win and let's move out, because that first half wasn't good enough. But Bruno again, I mean, obviously Bruno's my favourite player at United. But it's unbelievable what he does. Absolutely unbelievable. And yeah, he did shin it a bit, but you know what? Rooney shinned the bloody overhead kick against Man City. It still went in. The Rashford's overplayed this again. Now it's back with McTominay. Wan-Bissaka. I agree with what somebody said in the first half, though. McTominay, I agree with what somebody said in the first half. I think Rashford and Shaw work a lot better on the left, and I think down the right-hand side it's not as fluid. Luke Shaw's got 5 assists in 20 games, says Hamza. That's impressive. Very impressive. He's doing well. Nice ball into McTominay. He's getting forward here. Goes for the shot. Good block. See, we are pushing forward a bit more this second half now. Different to the first half. Rashford again. I think he's overplayed that. God, it's a lovely cross, though. Lovely cross. And it goes out for a throw-in. Throw into United. Oh, Bruno's gone down there, right in front of the referee, and he's not. Is this ref on drugs? He's awful. He's absolutely awful. Like, he's just slipped into Bruno and two-footed him. I mean, it's not a red card, but he's very clearly hurt and it's very clearly a foul. And it just plays on. No, I'm not. It was an accident, but it's still a foul. That's what I'm saying. It's like, just because it's accidental doesn't mean it's not a foul. I'm not saying he should have got a red card. I'm saying it was a foul on Bruno Fernandes. It's not. People are saying, "Oh, it's an accident, you idiot." Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it's an accident. It's a bloody foul. And it's right in front of the ref. And also, Bruno's clearly injured from it. But, well, I don't like talking about refs anyway. I think if you're talking about refs, you're already losing the argument. I'm not going to talk about referees. Mark, it's the same ref that ballsed up the Wolves Arsenal games as existence. Right, let's just take our time in this half. Clearly, it's not going to be the dominating 4-0 I predicted. So realistically, I'd be happy with a 2-1 now. Just get the 3 points and go home. Let's just go home with 3 points. Don't let them up near Lindelof. Problem is Bruno fell down holding the wrong leg to the one that got hit. Same in the first half. Got taken out by his own player. Claims a penalty, says Jeff Cott. Well, it's not the problem, is it, Jeff Cott? Because it was a foul. And ref's been a joke since the Klopp comments. It's been crap, says KA. And we're playing better this half, says Melps. Yeah, I think we are. I think they've had a bit of a rocket up the arse, haven't they? And we've probably been told to play a little bit more on the front foot as well. Because this is already, this first 6 minutes is better than the 45 of the first half. Water says, what are your thoughts on Donny van der Beek? Well, we never really get to see him, do we? So apparently Harry Maguire's been good today. God, standards have dropped. He's been okay. I mean, realistically, our defence has been a shambles when they've been near our box, and he's the organiser of the defence. So, but as I keep saying, if you think he's had a good game, that's fine. I think Lindelof has been trash, and ultimately, it's about time we stopped talking about centre-backs as individuals and started talking about them as a partnership. Because even, you know, the land before time, centre-backs have been about partnerships. So, you know, this nonsense needs to stop where we go, oh, Lindelof played well, but Maguire was trash. Or Lindelof played trash, but Maguire played well. They're a partnership. You play as a partnership. Oh, I thought Cavani was going to score then. Lovely cross. I think it was by Bruno, and the West Brom defender just got something on it. Go on, Tony. I'll tell you what, Martial's been really quiet, hasn't he? Martial has been really quiet. What are your thoughts on Kimmich? No comment. Thanks. If you say Scooby-Doo, Scott will score, says Thomas. I hope so. In fairness to Harry Maguire, he's almost been playing as a left winger this game. I don't know what that tactical thing's all about, but West Brom into the box, gets his shot off, not tracking a runner from midfield again. This is something that United knew. You know, if you want a bit of something to keep an eye on from Manchester United, centre back pairing is shit, and we don't track runners from the midfield. Not tracking again. This is a regular occurrence as well. We don't track the runners from midfield. Time for a sub. Martial hasn't had an impact lately, says Mark Jones. You know, I'm a big fan of Martial. I'd take him off as well. I agree. I don't think he's just not in the game, is he? I've not noticed him at all. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said it himself that we play 4-2-3-1 and has done so whole season. If McTominay doesn't play one of those defensive positions, what does he play? Says Tabraz. Exactly. I don't know what Ollie was on about in his interview when he went, McTominay's a so-called centre defence midfielder. Like, he plays as a centre defence midfielder. He's been playing all season. Ran out of characters in my other chat, so here's another fiver. But the thing is, Bruno has built a reputation and the refs are wising up to it, says Jeff Cott. He hasn't built a reputation. The media have built a reputation around Bruno, and he does get fouled a lot. Fred with another terrible pass. Martial's body language is awful, says Callum. Well, I did a video this week. I wouldn't be surprised if Martial looked for a move in the summer. Can he justify a first-team spot at the moment? And that, to me, is the worry. I love Martial. I think he's a fantastic player, but can he justify a first-team slot at the moment? And a lot of people felt that he was a bit lucky to start, and that Greenwood was unlucky, and I agree with that. So, wish it was different, but this has got to be Martial's last season, says Sean. He ain't good enough for us, his striker, and he ain't ever going to be our first choice. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is playing in a weird position, do you think, says Rocco. We're very imbalanced at the back four. Like I say, Harry Maguire's coming over to the left-hand side and coming forward like a left-back, left winger, which I think is getting in Luke Shaw's way a little bit, although it worked well on the goal. Wan-Bissaka is, you know, sort of on his own, really, because Lindelof ain't coming forward. I think Rashford plays better off the left, although I quite liked the idea of him on the right. Oh, McTominay there. Got to be stronger. Can't be giving West Brom the ball. Good. Well, I thought Martial had won that. Can you call Xavier Pratt? Says Shrek. Cross comes in, cleared by Wan-Bissaka. Oh, don't go for a corner, Luke. Goal kick, good play. Send Rashford to the under-23s. I think Rashford's done okay today. I mean, I don't think he's... I think I'd put Rashford's performance up there with Cavani. I don't think it's been a bad performance from Rashford and Cavani. I just don't think they've had a lot of the ball. Although, that could be about to change. Rashford's down the right-hand side on the break. There's a couple of West Brom players with him. Needs to use it quick. Bruno. Ends up at the keeper. Not a great ball. When Grealish gets fouled, it's about him being clever. When a foreign player gets subbed, it's diving according to the British press. Bias, says KA. Well, we all know about the British press bias, don't we? How much would Man United get for Lindelof if they sold him? I don't think Lindelof's as bad as people think. I just think the partnership brings out the worst in both, as we were talking with Flex at half-time. I think the partnership brings out the worst in both of Maguire and Lindelof. I think if you put Lindelof with a centre-back that complements him, then you get a better centre-back. Same with Maguire. But together, they just do not work. And Jacob says Lindelof's not the problem, it's the fridge in Fred. Well, I think we've all got our own agendas on who's at fault and who's at not. But sold for an undisclosed fee, says Barkey. I love it. This will be a very disappointing draw, by the way. I know. Like, losing is something we don't want to do, but I can just say that it's a draw. If a draw would be a really poor performance. Can you call Mark Goldbridge a prat? Says Jamie. The draw. I might have a problem with that, Jamie. And Mark, would you be interested in being director of football at United? I'd love it. Says I'd love it. Yes, chef, but it wouldn't happen. Greenwood on, Rashford to the left, says Colin Murphy. And I think Ollie's air quotes on Scott is because the board have told him that they are no rush to buy one, putting it on the board. Clever, says Canna Dave. Could be. I don't know who that was aimed at. Somebody even said, "Do you think that was aimed at you?" And I'd be like, "Why?" He probably doesn't watch the United stand, and also, you know, it's very clear he does play as a CDM. Matt Overs also says we need Rashford down the left. His chemistry with Shaw is amazing. Can I just say I wouldn't disagree with taking off Martial and putting Rashford on the left and Greenwood on the right, but I don't think it would solve the problem per se that we've got no creativity in the midfield. I think the problem is Fred and McTominay are not creative enough in the midfield, so that is where I'd be looking to make a change. I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka has played well today and Martial needs to come off for Donny to create something, says Colin. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. Here's McTominay. Oh, it's got to be a foul. It's a foul on McTominay anyway. Would you take Hazard for Pogba? No, Lit. I would not. Never in a million years. This so-called CDM comment could mean that he plays CDM but has ability to do more. Ollie is saying he is more than a CDM despite playing there, says Ash G. Well, he needs to play him not there then, doesn't he? You know what I'm saying? That's what he needs to do. Don't play him as a CDM. Free him up. Anyway, United have got a chance to put a cross into the box here. Bruno will take it. You need to change the score. I'd love to change the score. Maguire wants a penalty. He's given it! He's given a penalty! Get in! Well, I thought it was going to be a bit soft. West Brom don't look very happy about it. We'll check it on VAR. I don't care. Out of jail. Get out of jail free card. It's a penalty. I don't know what McTominay's arguing about. Maguire's going to be offside. He's bloody offside. Bloody gets a penalty and he's offside. What a prat. Wins a penalty and he's offside. What a prat. Well, no. It's not offside. It's going to VAR. You blame the players, but where are the tactics as Brown West? Well, they haven't got an offside here, so he's not offside. I maybe have looked at it after the kick of the ball. They've gone VAR. Greenwood's ready to come on here. Let's have a look. No, he's not offside. He's not offside. I don't think he's going to give it. I think it's a penalty. It's a penalty all day for me. Yes! Get in. He's got that right. We'll have it. Get in. Oh! What? He's not giving a penalty. He's having a bloody laugh. He's a joker. He's a bloody joke. Well, he's offside anyway. Oh no, the arm of the other player. That's a penalty. Oh, for fuck's sake. Harry Maguire can't dive. He doesn't know how to dive. Some people think he doesn't even know how to defend. Bloody joke. How is that not a penalty? I'll tell you what, Harry Maguire, if he knows how to dive, he better bloody get him a sponsorship deal with Speedos, because I don't think Harry Maguire knows how to dive, do you? Bloody jokers. Jokers, I'm telling you. Well, Greenwood looked like he was going to come on. It's raining a lot. It's raining a lot here. I thought he looked offside, but they didn't give the offside, did they? They gave they said it was no penalty, but I thought it looked offside, but he wasn't offside. Maguire keeps opposition onside and our team offside. They never gave it. When people are saying offside, they never gave it. They never gave the offside. So Martial's off for Greenwood. I don't think we can argue about that. Rashford will come over to the left-hand side. Come on, Mace. Get us a winner here. Get us a winner. But I thought he was offside, but he wasn't. They said it wasn't. I mean, Joseph said he was offside, but it's a penalty. It can't be offside. You can't win a penalty when you're offside. I'm sorry. They might have changed the rules, but that's not. And exactly, Oliver Ford said, if it's a penalty for Salah against City, how is it not for Manchester United? I think if he's not offside, it's a penalty, and he wasn't offside apparently. So for me, it's a penalty. Andrew Harris says, offside doesn't come into play. Of course it bloody does. It's an illegal action. Not a pen mark. Come on, went down from the slightest contact. No, Callum, I think you're giving Harry Maguire too much credit. He don't know how to dive. There's no way. If that was Bruno or Martial, I'd have thought, oh, hey up. Hey up, me duck. He might have dived there. But, you know, Maguire doesn't know how to dive. Anyway, the penalty's not been given. I thought it was. This is the trouble with VAR. And this will be a bad draw for United if they draw, by the way. It'll be a dross. So Greenwood's gone to the left. Martial's gone to the bench, and Rashford's gone to, Greenwood's gone to the right. I'll do it on the screen. And Rashford's gone to the left. which is probably how we should have started the game, to be fair. To be honest though, I don't think the substitution really changes what the problem is. That the midfield is the lacking of creativity. Ref looked at Big Sam during the VAR check and was scared he would eat him, says RTB. And remember, I don't have the audio on, so I don't know what is actually being said on the screen. So, to me, they said it was no penalty because of the foul, but whatever. But for somebody to say in the live comments, you don't understand the rule of the game, the offside's irrelevant. All right, so, basically you can now win a penalty from an offside position. You're having a laugh, mate. If you're offside, it trumps anything. Offside results in no penalty. We've seen it with Van Dijk and Pickford, says Aidan. But I thought he looked at the screen to see if it was a foul, not to see... Oh, look, it's gone. It's gone. I thought he was offside in the first instance, and then I thought he wasn't offside. I don't know. I don't really give a shit anymore. It's gone. We've got 22 minutes to score against West Brom. If we can't do that, we don't deserve to win anyway. Corner to United. Cross comes in. Maguire wins it. Oh, Greenwood. McTominay. Oh, Greenwood saved keeper. McTominay off the line. Should have been 2-1 there. Come on. We've got this. West Brom have been shit. West Brom have done nothing second half. We've got this. We've got this. Come on. He hasn't given the penalty. We move on. We move on. See Maguire again winning the ball. He wins so many balls. I feel like due to previous errors by referees such as Mike Dean, some referees now tend to be more conservative with their calls. Rashford really needs to be less selfish, says Luke Garrett. And I feel like due to... Yeah, we've done that from Emil. I'm predicting a winner for Cavani on his birthday, says Uncle Drew. I think we've got this. I think we will get the winner. And Brad Day says, VAR always check the foul and then the offside. De Gea out off his line there. Big kick. Lindelof doing my head in, thinking he's Pirlo, looking for the killer pass. Get off the ball and give it to our midfield, says Nick M. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. We will be live after the game with the match reaction, and player ratings will be coming in any minute, actually. You can start voting for your player ratings. God knows what Martial will get this week. And Lindelof. Shot from distance, over the bar. And we have got the fan forum as well. Well, we haven't had a Valentine's Day massacre unless United lose. That would be considered a Valentine's Day massacre. But I was hoping for a comfortable win. You reckon we can close the gap between City? Says FU. No. And if you say Martial has been bad, then you have to say Cavani's been bad. Nothing for them. Says that. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. I think Cavani's been very, very quiet in this game because of a lack of service. And I would have put Van der Beek. I can't believe Van der Beek's not been used again. Oh my God, they've got a 2v1. Oh, they've messed it up. They've messed it up. Thank God for that. Bloody hell. West Brom there, they've done sod all, but they could have been in then. Zane would have gone mad because it was Maitland-Niles who had the chance. Nice ball over the top, headed away. Second ball. I think ultimately we've made a very poor West Brom side, and they are a poor West Brom side, look okay today. It's not been creative enough. You know, we're up against the English Jose. You know, what you see is what you get with Sam Allardyce. Pie and a pint. And, you know, it's Jurassic Park football. And we've struggled against it. Here's Mason. Goes wide. Nice to Rashford. Go on, Fred. Bruno. To McTar. Come on. I think Van der Beek could offer so much. We need some cleverness around the edge of the box. Still playing with fucking Lindelof and Maguire and McFred in front. And we're on game, what, 24 of the season? Here he goes again. Maguire, look, on a run forward. Oh, Luke Shaw. Oh. Rashford. Too many touches again. $15 to go. I'll be absolutely pissed off if we draw this game. Good tackle, Lindelof. He had to make that. Last man. You think with how much Ollie looks up to Sir Alex Ferguson, he'd have a word with him about tactics, says Sam Pat. And time for Ollie to take a risk now. Take Fred off for Donny like Scott. Just sit in front of the four and have Donny and Bruno creating, says Sean Negative Turner. I think we win, but it's not good enough, says Colin Murphy. And Rashford's been excellent on the right, puts in some really good crosses, says the mystery man. Do you think Mata would be a good sub here, James? He's not even on the bench. He's not even on the bench. We've got 4 defenders on the bench. So... I'd take Fred off. Have McTominay sitting and put Donny on. But what do I know? Player ratings is open on the website if you want to do that. Mark every player out of 10. 6 being average. I will just get the link in the video description for you. Mark, looking at Rashford, Tony and Mason on the wing. Diallo definitely needs a chance. None of those naturally play on the wing. Rashford left only, says Ryan Crooks. We need to get a win here. Get out. Win and get out, because it ain't been good enough. There's only 15 minutes to go. Here comes Donny at last. Donny's coming on at last. Just don't be for Bruno. It can't be for Bruno. Don't go and do something stupid like take Bruno off, for God's sake. Links in the video description for the player ratings. Takes you through to the website. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average, and 6 being the average, and star next to your man of the match, and we go from there. Looking for killer passes now. Gabriel Noah's getting excited. He's saying he's getting 5 extra minutes. Is old Donny here? But what a double save by De Gea. He given the foul. He given the foul. No, he's played on. I think it was a foul anyway, but what a double save by De Gea. I think it was going to be a foul, but fuck it, De Gea didn't know. It was, and who was it? Was it Maguire or Lindelof? Caught in possession again? I don't know what went wrong. I think it was a foul on Maguire, but De Gea, bloody brilliant save. Sit down, bloody haters. Bruno, back post. Wan-Bissaka. Oh. Well, let's see this again. It's a ball over the top. Maguire's in all sorts of trouble. Letting it bounce. That's not... I don't think it would have been a foul. I don't think it would have been a foul on Maguire. Well saved, De Gea. But Maguire shouldn't let that bounce. It's basics. It's not a foul anyway because he gets the ball. I don't think that would have been a foul on VAR. I think it would have been a goal. That would have been a goal. De Gea is just saved as a fucking win here. A loss. That would not have been a foul. It looked like a foul, but he nicks it through his legs. It's all going off now. Got to be careful on the break. We also do not have one centre-back that is the right standard. They are both rubbish, says Brad Lewis. Well, you know what? It's the same as the Lindelof goal, isn't it? You can say it's a foul, you can say it's not a foul, but the reality is the defender should do a lot better. And that one with Maguire there, some people will say it's a foul, but he shouldn't put himself in a position to be fouled, even if he was. We're letting balls... It's basics. Don't let the ball bounce. Especially when you're not as quick as the lad who's running with you. Fred off for Donny is the right substitution. I think... But by the looks of it, Donny's playing as a number 10 anyway. He's playing a bit close to Bruno. Greenwood. Come on, lads. Come on. Rashford. No. Shouldn't be shooting from there. They're parking the bus. 10 minutes to go. Please subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We've got 10 minutes here. Fred's off. Come on. Weird game. Really weird game. I've not got... I mean, I'm looking forward to doing the match reaction. I always do the player ratings. But it's been a very weird game. West Brom with the ball. This would be a bad... You know what worries me about this? It's about top four. You know, we talk about the title, but it's about top four. These are 3 points that, if you don't get them, it opens the door for the top four spot. We keep thinking, oh, we've got second on lockdown, and we haven't. Far from it. I'm pleased for De Gea on that double save, though. It was absolutely world class. Absolutely world class save from De Gea. Here's Greenwood. Into Greenwood again. Has got it on the edge. They're parking the bus, West Brom. What do you expect? Nice little ball by Bruno into Rashford. He's going to have to go back to Shaw. Bruno. Oh, he's tried to lay it off. Might get a yellow. What are you thinking in the last 10 minutes, everybody? You reckon we got this? What are you thinking? Mark, can you sing Blinded by the Lights? My pet dog has just been put down, says Zach. And I can't sing that. I don't know what song that is. I like the one by Keane. Blinded by the lights, but you and I were gonna rise again. That's probably why you like it, because of your dog. It's not 2. A lot of people are saying 2-1 because that's their prediction for the scoreline. I'm sorry, I was a bit disrespectful about your dog then, because you know when you said sing Blinded by the Lights, I thought you were going to say you got run over. And I was just thinking like you were taking the piss. But she might well be anyway, but if it's not true, if it is true, then obviously I hate it when animals, pets, get put down. It's, you know, they can't talk, can they? So you feel more sympathy for them. I'm trying to just keep myself level-headed here. I'll be absolutely furious if we don't get a win here. But it could happen. Could happen. Time's flown by in this game. I don't think he's the best referee in the world, but I'm not gonna. I think the excuses are ready, aren't they, from Ollie? He'll say it wasn't a goal for them. We should have had a penalty. Same as Sheffield United, but he'll totally miss the point that we shouldn't be complaining about penalties or goals against teams like West Brom and Sheffield United, because good teams will create lots and lots of chances. Tell you what, Greenwood, I'm gonna shout out Greenwood. You can say that we haven't given them much service, but Greenwood, in the time that he's been on the pitch, has made such a massive difference. And it's a yellow card. United get a free kick on the edge of the box. Well, will Bruno go for the free kick? He's got to shoot. It's a very hard angle to score from. He'll definitely go for it, but it's quite wide, so there's not a lot of goal to shoot from this angle. Makes it easier for the keeper. Having said that, it's not. It's a bit closer. You know, I'm thinking Ward-Prowse against us. If he gets this right, we need it. 5 minutes to go. No urgency in the last 10 minutes, says Mikan. We've seen this for a long time with Manchester United. Luke Shaw's on it. Bruno's on it. God, we need this. Come on. He's not. He's gone for the cross. Oh, I don't know what's gone in here. Why didn't he shoot? Mark, it's not about Ollie out and overreacting, but seriously, he's holding this team back. It's not Premier League win standard. We need someone better, says Brad Lewis. This is going to end in a draw, isn't it? Well, I suppose technically the title's over, isn't it? I've not thought about it from that point of view. For me, I said the title was over a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, I think any lingering hopes, we've put ourselves in a top 4 race, haven't we? That's what this result is. That's why it's a disappointing result, because we've put ourselves out of a position that I never thought we were in a title race anyway, to be honest with you. But it's not good enough. This doesn't matter whether you're in 8th place or 4th place or 2nd place. It's not a good result. They are second from bottom. They're going to get relegated, and we've not played well enough. Ollie's just a Norwegian. Roy Hodgson, says Fian. We've struggled today. We have struggled. We've not created enough chances. I would say if you take the goal away from Bruno, well, they should have just won it there. DNA should have won it there. That is the chance of the game, and he should have won it. West Brom should have won this game. I've said it 3 times. I'll say it again. Ball out wide to the right. Luke Shaw has to come across. Cross comes in. Lindelof's lost his man again. That should have been a goal. That would have been on Lindelof. Again, not marking his man. Very, very lucky. Very, very lucky. That's all I've got to say. We're very lucky not to have lost the game there. Go on, Greenwood. Have him on toast. Have him on toast. He's going to run at him. Go on. Go on. Bruno. Rashford. What's he shooting for from there? Use the ball, mate. Ref, come on. 2 minutes to go. (1-1) with West Brom. 2-1 loss to Sheffield United. We only beat Fulham 2-1. We struggle against these teams. Even if we win, Ollie has got to go. He's lost every ounce of respect with his decisions. Never should have got the job. Can't stand him, says Lamb. No, just I don't agree with that. I think he's done a very good job with what he's got. I don't think we've done very well in this game. Though I think we've made big errors in this. How do relegation teams test our goalkeeper more than we test theirs, says Gabriel Noel. I think that's a great point. Lovely play by Greenwood down the right-hand side. Fucking hell. What? You've got Edison Cavani in the team, and why is he not on the end of that? Brilliant play by Greenwood. Puts a lovely cross in, and nobody's making any move. Fucking hell. Dean says, I was placed in timeout for saying we missed Pogba. Mark, even if we get a new centre-back, how do we know Ollie won't pull a Donny on him? Says Red Harlow. Greenwood again. Tell you what, Mason Greenwood should have started this game. Very, very, very obvious to me. Donny's in the box. Lays it off to Rashford. He's got 3 players on him. Use the bloody ball, Marcus. All game, he's just taken extra touches all the time. Use the bloody ball. He stutters on the ball all fucking game. Use the ball. There's 5 minutes to go. Use the bloody ball quick. It's so frustrating with Rashford because he's such a good player. And he's such a good player when he plays on the edge. Just started overplaying the ball all the time. Here's Maguire on the left wing again. Bruno. Maguire. Luke Shaw. Cross. Come on, 4 minutes. It is a terrible result. It's a very terrible result. Remember to vote for your player, your match ratings, by the way. You can do that through the link in the video description. Player ratings, mark every player out of 10, 6 being average, star next to your man of the match. You can do that through the link in the video description, and we'll go through that in the match reaction after the game. United going side to side. It's a disgrace to me that against relegation battling time, our youngest player has arguably put in the best performance as Sam. Corner to United, 3 minutes to go. Get a bloody move on. Get a move on. Luke Shaw's going to take it. Please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We're really close to 985,000, I think. I haven't checked all half. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. Corner comes in. Oh, fucking hell. 3 minutes to go. Move it. Wan-Bissaka wide to Luke Shaw. To Bruno. No. What are you shooting for? I wouldn't have shot from there, Bruno. It's 35 yards out, mate. Fucking hell. 2 minutes to go. Yeah, and I think the relevant point from Gabriel Noel is that why against the relegation side have they tested our goalkeeper more than we've tested theirs? That's the bottom line, isn't it? I mean, to be honest, De Gea saved us from losing the game. That double save has saved us the game. Probably my man of the match, De Gea. Or Greenwood. It's hard to struggle for. Who would you go for man of the match? I think for me, probably De Gea because of that double save. There's not been a very good Man United performance today. A minute and a half to go. Goal kick. Bruno's not been too bad. Luke Shaw's not been too bad again. Cavani's been quiet. Rashford's been frustrating. Martial was poor. Greenwood's been very good, but was only on the pitch for 20 minutes. McTominay and Fred did okay, but there's just no creativity. Lindelof, terrible. Wan-Bissaka's been okay. Maguire, wow, defensively, good going forward. Defensively poor. But minute to go. Bruno with the cross. Fucking hell. Come on. Still 30 seconds to go. Come on. Push forward. Where's the urgency? Give it to Donny. Move it. The wide ball has been on for 50 years. Bloody Maguire. Why didn't he put it wide? This is the last attack. Luke Shaw puts the cross in. Maguire. Oh, he's at the post. He's at the post. Greenwood. Last chance. Put the cross in. Wan-Bissaka. Terrible cross. Terrible cross. Push it. Push it. Come on. Last attack. You've got to put it in. Got to put it in the box. This ref is shite. He's absolutely shit. He blows the whistle as the cross comes in. Bang on. I tell you what, I'm not blaming the referee, but I pity the fool who has got Pawson as your referee next, because he's shit. Good header by Harry Maguire. And he hits the post. Would have been another assist for Luke Shaw. I think Harry Maguire almost heads that too well. Forget top four. That's crap, that is. That is a crap performance, I've got to be honest. That is absolute shit from Manchester United today. Very few, I mean, for me, De Gea was man of the match. Because that double save probably cost us losing. We've only scored one goal. It's not good enough. I think the questions you need to ask are defensively shite. Ollie's probably going to speak to the ref, but you can't. Look, I'm not. Maybe it was a foul on Lindelof, and maybe it was a penalty, but you can't go to West Brom, who are in the bottom three, and say we should have had a penalty. The goal shouldn't have been allowed. These are not fine margin games. They're not fine margin games, and I think that people getting angry at the end. Look, Harry Maguire's not happy at the end. We're playing West Brom. Man City turn up and they'll probably beat them 5-0. And I know Man City didn't beat West Brom, and I know Liverpool didn't beat West Brom, but they're different games in different circumstances. That United didn't beat West Brom because we didn't play well. Anyway, links in the video description for the player ratings. Mark them all out of 10, 6 being average. We'll go over onto the match reaction. I've got a lot of things to talk about. But one of the things I really want to get into is that that's not acceptable from Solskjaer or the coaches tonight. defensively, he picked that defence, and, De Gea has been more busy than Sam Johnston. That's not good enough. So I'll see you over there. Links in the video description for the match reaction and the player ratings. I'll see you there in a minute.